Good evening. I'd like to call the Northwood Board of Selectmen meeting to order at 6 o'clock on April 10th, 2018. I'll start with roll call.
Scott Breyer.
Donald Hutchison.
Beth Boudreau.
We will now do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, let's start out with Citizens Forum. Anybody here for Citizens Forum? Come on up.
Great, thank you. Good evening. My name is Brenda DiMatteo, 18 Newman Drive. I am a volunteer with New England Donor Services. I'm actually the New Hampshire ambassador for Donate Life New England. We're the organ donor registration people. And April is Donate Life Month. And Donate Life Month is a movement that's supported throughout the nation, and here in the state of New Hampshire, it's supported at the state level. Anybody that's been to any of the Department of Motor Vehicles, you'll see Donate Life information and Donate Life banners. And I was hoping, I brought an example, if just for the month of April, Donate Life Month, perhaps there might be some place high visibility in town where they call it the Donate Life flag, if you want to call it a banner, that we could display the Donate Life flag. Town office, the fire department, the transfer station.
Did you have a suggestion?
I'm just hoping that perhaps you might have a suggestion. My suggestions would be the town hall, the transfer station, the fire department. Those are what other towns nearby are doing.
Would it make sense to maybe put, just asking down in the town clerk's office when it comes in the register of the car?
Sure, that would be wonderful.
If you want to get more visible. Oh, it's only for the month though, right?
Right, it's Donate Life Month.
If it's for the month, I think if you're looking for the most visible places, be the transfer station, as bad as that sounds as a place to put it, but that's going to be the place you get the most recognition. You're going to see it the most.
Nothing says reuse and recycle like organ donor registration.
So
I think that's a wonderful suggestion, and I would.
But I'm fine with displaying this. I mean, I'm just speaking as one selectman.
I'm fine with displaying it too. I'm okay with wherever you want to display it, but if you're looking for the most traffic,
I'm looking for.
if you're looking for the most traffic, that's where the most traffic's going to be.
Are you asking for one flag or two flags? Or?
I actually have 3 available. I just wanted to make sure that I had the blessings of the Board of Selectmen. I wasn't sure if I needed any type of
I'm all right with it.
I'm okay with it.
official. Great. Thank
Okay,
you.
for the transfer station?
Wherever she wants to put it.
If you
The
want
town
to
hall?
put one here, one at the
Wherever she
transfer
wants to put it.
station, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For your service.
Anybody else?
Mike Smith, Bass Road. Excuse me. I tried this last year, but I was late. I've got some time on my hands, and I understand that the town has some lawnmowers. If it's all the same to you and it's all the same to me, I wouldn't object to mowing the ball fields and up the road there. Rather than pay a contractor to do it, you know, it's save it down some money. I like mowing, so think about it. If you want to do that, that works real well with me. I'd be happy to do it.
Thank you for offering that.
Anybody else? Any more citizens forum? Step up to the mic.
I didn't know if anybody else had come in late, so I didn't know
No.
if anybody else was.
Step up to the mic.
Dave Ruth, Route 4, Northwood. I'm a member of the Recreation Commission, but I'm here speaking for myself as a concerned citizen. I will bring some of the points I will say to you, I will bring up with the Recreation Commission tomorrow night. I'd like us to have a meeting between the Recreation Commission, the Selectmen, the Facilities Committee, and I've asked for this before. And my really concern is, I want to really get the ball fields, rec fields, going in the right direction. It was set up probably over 15 years ago, and we're still stalled on the upper fields. One example would be, we got $13,000 plus dollars to build a ball field backstop and dugouts. I'm on the committee, people ask me what's going on, I have no clue. I don't know who's in charge of making sure things are done. So I'd like the three groups to get together, come up with a good plan, and differentiate where the responsibilities are. Because I've talked to a rec director, I've talked to a facilities manager, and I get two different opinions about what's going to be going on and what's happening. So,
I'm fine with that suggestion.
yeah. So I'm just kind of forewarning.
I think we should maybe
which is the
have-
wrong word,
We had
but,
this conversation
I
before,
think
Yeah.
maybe we should have a separate meeting though.
right,
like a work session.
yeah,
That works for me.
that's all. And again, I just, again, speaking for myself, but I will speak tomorrow, we have a meeting, so, and we'll go through the process of maybe the rec director speaks to the town administrator, sets up the appointment, but I think it would be important that we get that thing going. After 15 years, let's do it and get it finished. There's, up there tonight, there's over 20-odd cars with no place to park, and they got 30 kids running around playing lacrosse, so, that's all. I'll see you some other time.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Yeah, my name's Don Dodge. I live up on Sherburne Hill Road, and for about a year now, I've been trying to get an answer about what is going on with the Spike Edward Bryant property that the town owns. I have got no answers on anything. The town continues to dump trees on it. Absolutely looks awful. Part of the place is condemned. People drive in there and dump stuff. And I've been working on a house for 30 years in a really nice neighborhood, a really nice residential neighborhood that up till last year was considered to be one of the nicest neighborhoods in the town. Right now, if somebody came to my house to buy it, they'd look across the street and they'd say, I'm not looking at that. And I wonder what that does to the value of my house, everybody on Sherburne Hill Road, and everybody on Bryant Road. Now, I don't understand why nobody can get back to me, tell me why if it's for sale, if it's for auction, what the town's going to do about taking care of it. I believe the town has a responsibility to clean the place up. The only time I've seen it cleaned up is when we've had prisoners come from the state prison and clean it up. So that's all I got to say, but I'll tell you, there's a whole load of people up in that hill that have about had it, and we're dropping $7,500 to $8,000 worth of tax money every year to this town so that we can look at a place that should be bulldozed. So I've about had it. I ran into the road crew today. It wasn't pretty. I didn't see them dump any more logs in there, but somebody has to get back to me and tell me what's going on. That's all I'm asking.
Hey, just to clear it up, the town didn't give them permission to dump logs there. They dumped them there on their own.
Well, doesn't the town control the
Well,
DPW?
can I ask a question?
Correct, if I'm right.
Well,
that's how it
no,
happened.
hold on. I don't want logs up there.
We never gave them the.
But
we never
who's
gave
putting the
them
logs up there?
the company that's cutting the trees down, but we never gave them the okay to put them there. They just put them there, and now
No,
we're
no,
stuck
no,
with-
no, no.
Now
No, the town. I talked to Pete
you
today.
told them to put them there.
No, Pete was working.
Charlie and Joe took it up on themselves to put the logs
Yeah.
up there.
Okay,
But it wasn't brought to us.
all right. But what is the process for getting the place cleaned up?
We have to put a bid out to have the trees removed,
And what
and
is
then
Well, I'm sorry that the trees are up there. I would have never put them up there if
Neither
it was
would I.
brought to my
Neither would
attention.
I.
But I will say that, we'll make sure there's no more trees in there right now. We haven't decided what properties we're auctioning yet this year. But in order to clean that up, I'd have to get an estimate and get an idea, but it might have to wait till next year.
To
when-
clean it up or to auction it?
Well, we could auction it as is, I don't know, but we gotta look at some things. I would have to get estimates on how much it would cost to clean it up.
The last time I had any
But
knowledge.
right now, it's not for sale. It's in the tax deeded properties.
Wasn't there a lien out of Massachusetts that we were trying to figure out?
Well,
too?
we don't really have to worry about that because our tax lien takes precedent over that.
I knew there was something else that was.
Was it something?
There was
well,
something else that was holding us up too.
So, but I'll make it, I think we should make it clear that there should be no more logs.
I didn't want them to be there in the beginning.
Well, it's obviously somebody wasn't communicated to about where the log should be dumped, so we need to make sure that communication goes out now.
And then
Okay,
can we
so,
possibly-
but what is the process for me to get an answer about cleaning it up?
Well, I can tell you right now, if we get an estimate, and, I don't know, I wouldn't even know right now, okay, we can go out and get an estimate. I have no idea how much logs are up there, I can go by there, is it like,
There's somebody up there cutting logs right now. I think the DPW got the message today.
all right. So,
It was
but
a
my
bad
point-
message.
But my point is, all right, I'm gonna take responsibility. I'm gonna take, we'll clearly send a message to the DPW, well, the road agent, not the dump logs, that we don't have a Department of Public Works.
Okay.
Have to get we'd have to take a look at how much it would cost to remove the stuff.
Maybe get an ad in the papers to see if somebody wants to come in and get the logs. for
Well, I
free.
think we talked about that, and,
We can't let them cut them there, but they can take them from
yeah,
there.
yeah, I mean, we'll take this under advisement and we'll get some stuff. I can tell you though that, we can look at the tax deeding and stuff like that. But right now, to answer two of your questions, we have a tax lien on the property, the town owns the property. We can tell them, we'll tell them not to put any more logs up there. We'll see if we can do it in-house to remove the logs. And then we'll have to get an estimate, because I'm not gonna say we can clean it up next week, because I don't know how much it's gonna cost to clean it up until I get an estimate.
I just want to see everybody up there just wants to see some progress, that's all we're asking. And the other thing is, I'm considered an abutter, because one of those lots got sold, and my place had to be considered an abutter. As an abutter, do I get a notice of auction or for sale? Or is that just in the town record?
There's two ways to do it. How much land is up there? Typically for lots that are smaller than I don't think that's not a substandard lot,
acres.
that's a couple acres.
It's a couple acres.
So
I believe.
typically on ones that are buildable lots, we actually put it out for public auction. If it's a small property, like some of these lots that are like only a quarter of acre on a lake, we offer it to the abutters first. I think in the situation up there though, that'd be like, we'd advertise it.
Okay. All right, that's all I wanted to know. I just want to see some progress. Anything's better than nothing. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more citizens forum? Anybody else? Seeing none,
Can I make a?
Go ahead.
I'm a little confused tonight.
Go ahead.
Not confused, but
You have a different one than I have.
well, no, I just want to make a point. I got an agenda in my packet.
We had this one conversation. once
Well, I'm going to
before.
have it right
I
now.
know.
I had an agenda in my packet. In the agenda in my packet, I have no appointments. Although I came in tonight, and now there's 2 appointments.
Correct.
I know you're new at your job. Could we please have a cutout, when the package is mailed, that we cut off appointments?
I think we need to make it the Thursday that we mail them out.
Well, I'd like to make a motion that the Thursday as the, what time do you mail them out on Thursday?
Gotta have the
Dee
mail.
prepares them in the morning and mails them out typically by noon time.
Maybe Wednesday night then, if she's gonna prepare them in the morning.
So if somebody wants to, I'd like to make a motion that, so you mail them out at noon time?
The mail's been coming later in the afternoon, but Dee prepares them Thursday mornings.
prepares the agenda?
Prepares the package.
Prepares the agenda and the entire packet
Okay,
to be mailed out.
So by Wednesday evening, could that be cutoff date?
Yep, I'm in the office until 4:30.
I'd like to make a motion going forward that no appointments can be made after the cutoff date of Wednesday at the close of business. If somebody wants an appointment, then they'd go, they can get an appointment, it's just not gonna be at the next meeting. I mean, people have a right to make appointments, and I welcome that. I just kinda come in here, I read my package, and then,
Well, you come in prepared for what's on the agenda, and then there's something else in front of you.
I mean, so.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Do I have a second?
I second that.
Do I have any more conversation? Seeing none? None? Call for a vote? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes 3-0. So we're gonna take, are we gonna take these ones today?
Oh, yeah, I'm not, I
All right.
mean, I'm not gonna, I could take them.
All right, so we'll move on to the first appointment, is Vina Dow. Come on up.
Cheers, rolling away. I would like the
Before
three
you
of
start, let
you,
me say, I'm very sorry for your loss.
thank you. I would like the three of you to reconsider this swap shop building, the finishing of this swap shop building. The insulation, Billy Johnson is going to spray it for nothing. The insulation, there's a ton of people who have volunteered. I have a step that John Towers made that's 4 by 4 feet for in front of the door. He made that free, you know, he donated that. There's a lot of things that have been donated. We don't have to pay to have it painted. We don't have to pay to have any plywood put up, no ceilings, you know. The guys are gonna do that, the inmates. It's all free. I redid everything. If you don't do the floor, which, you know, is expensive, we can paint the floor. A gallon of paint is $30.
That porch floor paint?
No, it's the porch that, to go.
No, no,
oh.
they have special
Oh,
paint
yes,
you can
yeah.
do it, okay.
Yeah, it's floor
Yeah.
paint. It's floor paint. And I redid the numbers, and it's, if you go with the $1,600 electrical, and he's gonna bring in some quotes Friday.
Yes, the reference.
I mean, not quotes,
References.
whatever they are. The total is like $3,100. We can't have that building down there and then just not take care of it.
I just think,
you know?
I think spending 10 grand for a swap shop, all said and done, is just too much.
I think spending $35,000 for an electric gate is a little much, but everybody has their own ideas about this.
We haven't spent that money on that gate yet.
Well, and we haven't spent that money on the building yet either. But neither here nor there.
You know,
This is-
Vina,
Yes,
got a little
dear.
history.
I have a little history.
And I'm
with
gonna
the
tell you a
transfer
little
station.
history. I recall when I first became a selectman, and you suggested that giant garage
That's been sitting.
that's been
Yes.
sitting there,
Yes, it did.
and that the plans we drew up were not accurate, and you came back, and we ended up getting something, and then when we get it, wasn't big enough to do the recycling.
It wasn't ever set up to do, I mean,
It was set up
I-
based on
yes,
your plan.
yes,
This is typically your I mean, it's just typically your MO. You come in and you say, I want this, and then you
Yes.
come in a month
Yes.
later and says, I need this.
No.
And I gotta tell you, no, I've been here a long time.
You have.
And I'll bite my tongue, but I don't like the fact that we give you something, and then you're back a month later asking for
but
more.
Scott, you said at the first meeting when I brought this building up, you said that we will do the building.
And we did.
then yes, you did. And you said that we would do the second part of it
And
later.
we said, we
right?
said you could do the electricity.
We never said anything.
No.
But I'm just saying, I am fine if somebody comes in and gives me a plan,
Yeah.
and I'm
but-
fine agreeing with the plan. I just don't like these add-ons, and I know for now. So, like, right now, my vote's still gonna be no.
Okay, but this, I have the paperwork from the first time. I will bring it up and show you, Scott. I had this stuff on that paperwork. and you wanted to
I
just do the
agreed,
building.
I agreed to it, all due respect, I agreed to a swap shop.
Yeah.
I supported it. I'm fine with putting electricity in.
My expectation when we bought the swap shop was we were gonna put electricity, and when we put it there, it was
Wait.
gonna be ready to use. We didn't have to put a bunch of other money into it in order to use it.
But if
Right, but
this
we do need
other
to put
stuff
some
is
money into it to
free-
keep it, so it's not, if you don't have,
Well,
if
my
the
vote's-
floor is not
Volunteers.
coated, it's untreated, it'll be ruined with mud and
Yeah.
rain.
But what about the insulation, spraying insulation, and it covers the wiring? We can't have wiring, bare wiring hanging out. I don't.
Wouldn't that be a
understand.
liability? What would Primex say if it was
I just
exposed
don't
wiring?
understand. We
Been
need to take
exposed wiring
care
at
of
the
these
swap shop
buildings.
up there for the last 10 years, and they
Just
haven't said
because there has
anything.
been, it's been there, doesn't mean it's okay, though. If someone touches it and gets hurt. That's why I'm asking.
A lot of things that aren't okay, that we haven't fixed.
Well, I would just
More
ask you
important. We
to
don't even accept
kind of
proper stuff
reconsider
down there the right way.
whatever. It's a shame to not, you know.
We'll take it under consideration.
Thank you. That's all I ask. If you take it on, but like I said, everybody has donated a ton of stuff. You know?
Well, it'd be
for this
nice to
building.
actually
And
get
there's
it
a lot of
open.
people that want it. It's not just me. It's a lot. of
I
people. You
know that
that.
a lot of people want it. Well,
You know
let's
that.
get it open and see what happens.
I will personally buy the paint and I will paint the floor of the swap shop.
Well,
I think that's something
thank
that
you.
needs to be done. Well, actually,
you. At least
I'll
paint
make
the
my
floor.
husband do it,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
Oh, that's okay, as long as you make your husband do it. I had one, and he's not here, so he can't do it, but that's okay. But if you would just consider, you know, because a lot of people have donated a lot of things, and it's kind of disappointing, and I have about 30 volunteers that will paint, and, you know,
I'm still waiting for the letter of commitments.
what does that mean?
It
Literally,
means they have to commit that they're gonna volunteer.
I thought you were, last time,
Because if you're telling us 30 people, if we have no names or no letters, how do we know that there's really
well, I
30
can
people?
do that if you want to, but I have to be told you need that stuff, and
Are you planning a weekend to do the work or
Yeah.
a day?
Yeah,
If you wanna
well-
just let me know the day and an idea of who will
who
be
will show up, and
who will show up.
and now what about the,
You can certainly let Primex know.
yeah, the inmates?
Yeah,
Talked to Mike
they're
and
all
they said
set.
that they would do
Right.
the, you know, if we did the walls and things.
they're
They would-
duly covered by insurance
Yeah, they're
between
fine.
our
They've
insurance
been here
and
enough. They've
Rockingham
been here enough
County.
that they're good.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
They're
So
excellent.
we're good. We're good with them at any point.
All right, so, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vina.
Yes, you're welcome.
Up next, Mr. McGugan, or however you say the last name, McGugan.
Good evening.
Hi.
Thanks for seeing me today. It's partly my fault that I got onto the agenda so late because I contacted Kate like yesterday when I was trying to do this, but I would have done it in public forum, in citizens forum otherwise. But I'm here today I'm representing the school board in this case. We've been, for the past few meetings, really trying to think about what we can do to improve security at the school in the light of the things that have been happening lately in the news. And we've talked to Chief Durley a couple times, and I'm not looking for necessarily any approval of a plan tonight, but I just wanted to let you guys know the plan that we were thinking about and to see what you guys thought of that and see if it was worth moving forward on. But what we'd like to do with the school is have a school resource officer there on premises. And it'll be somebody who works with the police department or for the police department and will be at the school all the times that the school's in session, right? So it would be our first line of defense of anything going wrong there, having a first responder right there. You could also do training for the teachers for the safety programs that are available. And then there's also, you could run the DARE program and things like that. So talking to the chief about that and meeting with the superintendent, they came up with a plan that's worked in other towns, and I don't know if we've ever done it here, where the officer would be hired or transferred, to be the school resource officer from the police department. The town would pay his full benefits and salary, and then would bill the school for the amount of time that he's at the school. So it ends up being something like an 80-20 split. So the school would end up paying 80% of the benefits package and salary and all that stuff, and then the town would pay the other 20%. And the reason for that is because obviously when school's not in session, the officer wouldn't be there, right? So we'd be doing patrols and doing regular police work.
Could we have it that he just works at the school?
Part-time.
Doesn't the other,
The other one does, I think, yeah, Cole
yeah,
Brown.
Cole Brown,
Yeah, 'cause
so-
she's contracted
Would
to
that-
do just
would-
that.
so
I-
could we make this at the school full-time? I mean, I'm
Well,
supportive.
how would they, that's not a bad idea, and I'm not against it, but how would they be full-time? What are they gonna do in the summer?
Right,
In school vacations
right.
during the year.
So I'm not saying that
Well,
that's
if
not a
the
bad
school-
idea, but it
Right,
doesn't,
right.
it doesn't fit the schedule.
Alright.
Right.
I mean-
No, I mean, it is something I was wondering too. If we could just do just
I'm
a
not
single
against
thing.
it.
Is there
but-
any grants?
Are there any grants? Not that I know of, but we could look into
Now,
that.
to be honest with you, the chief did approach me with this, and the way I understood it is you guys were gonna come together.
Well, that's what I was here, I wanted to float this idea by you guys and see if this made sense to you, because if you're like, no, we can't do that at all.
Oh, we can do
We
it.
then
can, we can
could
definitely
change it.
consider it, we just gotta
Can't
get
do
all
it. We
the
need a plan,
Yep.
and we need,
numbers and all that.
well, for example,
Yep,
we don't have in the budget this year
or next year.
20, well, yeah, you're gonna have to ask for appropriation.
Yep, Yep.
And I think you would have to put that, I support it. I wanna go on record, I support it.
I think you'd have to
But I
put it
think
on
you'd
the
have to
ballot.
put it on the, not put it on the ballot, but put it on the thing and ask the voters if they wanna have that support it too.
Put it on the
well,
ballot.
you guys already have a 2019 budget approved though, right?
No,
Yes.
no, it's only
Oh, we have a
2018.
2018.
So when the
Our
budget,
budget only goes till December. Our fiscal year runs, January 1st to December.
so when you come,
Yeah.
when the school board.
Your budget runs a different calendar year because it's a school.
Right.
So
No, I
when the
understand
police,
that,
when the
yeah.
police comes, the way I understood it from Glenn is when the police come to us this year, if we implement it, say we implement it today, that we're going to, I'm just throwing it out there, that he was gonna use the budget line from the 2 officers, I think it's 2 officers that he's down,
Right.
I believe, to offset that cost.
Yep.
And then, obviously, when budget season came this year,
You have to
you would put it,
Yeah.
that money in the
Yep.
budget.
And we'd be doing the same
That's the
thing.
way I understood it when we
Yep,
discussed
that was my
it.
understanding as well. And we'd be doing the same thing at the school because, we don't have any budget for this either right now. And so we'd have to use from surplus this year and then find money in our budget for next year that's already been approved.
Right.
Can you use it from surplus?
Yeah,
How? Do you have we don't have authorization to spend money out of surplus. We only have the money that the voters appropriate.
if we spend the money this year, it
To
would
finish
just
out this school year.
But how
finish out
are
the
you
school
gonna
year.
spend the money?
we overspend.
Do you have the money?
We probably do have the money this year. I don't know about next year.
You're gonna overspend your budget knowing you don't have the money.
No, we do have the money this year. We
You
would
have the
overspend.
money, but you have the money in your appropriation to
We
pay
don't-
for it this year.
we don't
You just
have-
told me you're gonna take it out of your surplus.
Right. We don't have a line item for this, so we would be overspending another line for this. I'm not sure which line that would be. But our budget is a bottom line budget, right? So
Yeah, I
we have a
understand
number of
how it
savings in
works,
other,
but
in
you-
other locations. So,
All I'm
yeah.
saying is, you have the I don't have I'm saying, we don't have the money this year to pay 20%,
Okay.
all right?
And that's why I'm here to.
And I
to find
can't,
out about.
unlike the school, which I'm just learning tonight, I didn't know schools could do this, I'm not allowed to overspend the budget.
Well, we're not overspending our budget either.
Well, where you getting the 20 grand?
We have savings in other parts of our budget, right? Like when we make our budget, we're 18 months ahead of time,
You're
right?
saying that you,
Situations change, health insurance changes, we have different numbers of.
yeah, I know how it
of
works,
kids going to
but,
school and stuff.
so you can come up with 80% of a salary for a police officer with benefits and just magically make that appear?
No, I mean, I think we have it this year though, and the question is, can we get it for next year? And I'm not
Raises a
sure.
huge red flag. at
Well,
how
it
you-
raises a huge red flag for
Now
me
you got
because when you
budget.
come in with your budget, I'm wondering
Yeah,
how
it
much of
does.
Right,
that's.
but we can't question
I
how he
understand that.
budgets.
That's not what I'm here for tonight though.
All right, so what I'm saying is, if you got the money, you want to do it this year, that's fine, that you can do it. We will put it in our budget for next year.
Your next year's budget, maybe I'm mistaken here, but your next year's budget starts on January 1st, 2019?
No, it started January 1st. We
next
have to
year
wait
starts
the
January
wait
1st,
the
2019.
first 3 months until it gets approved at town meeting. We're spending money not knowing whatever.
Oh, really? Okay, I
Yeah.
didn't realize that. No, I figured it was just done ahead of time. like
Nope.
that. Okay.
That's why generally we don't make any huge.
This is why we don't make any huge purchases until
first
after the
3
budget's
months.
approved.
Right. No, that
So I
makes
totally support this, but I just don't have
So-
the money
so-
in this year's budget.
So what it would turn out to be if we went with 80-20, just by rough calculations, would be 11,000 this year, and then 16,000 for next year and years after that, approximately, right? That's what the town portion of that would be for the times he's not at the school. I'm not looking for approval of that now. The school board isn't asking for that. What they wanted to do was just put together, a meeting of all the principals that'd be interested in this to nail down a plan, get the exact numbers, figure out how we're going to do things. So it'd probably be like, a selectman representative, town administrator, maybe someone from the police commission, Chief Durley, obviously, the superintendent, and someone from the school board or something like that. To have put together a couple meetings, hammer out the details, but we don't want to do that if we're just going to be wasting our time.
I think you're not wasting your time. I'm telling you that I support it. I just need to find the money.
Right.
Right, but for $11,000 this year, we'd be getting a police officer for all of summertime.
Right.
And then the
This
school
year.
vacations for this year, right?
By the time, my guess is by the time this all gets hammered out, it's gonna be summer vacation anyways. Because summer vacation is like a month and a half away. I don't think we're gonna get this solved in a month and a half. That's just my.
Well,
So talking to the chief, he seemed to think it could happen like in
We can't
by
get
May.
people to fill the 2 spots that are
It
available
was-
now at the police station. They've been open for how long?
They actually just hired.
Did they finally hire somebody?
hired two.
Two
All right.
in-
Well, they were open for quite a while.
So I think they had
Correct.
figured that, I talked to Chief as well, and he was talking about when these two are done their training, by that time.
It'd be time to switch
Right,
over or whatever.
right.
Yeah.
School will be basically over, pretty much. Pretty close.
Well, then it would be less than 11,000, it might be like 7,000 or 6,000.
Right. The thing is, if we get it, the amount of time we have would be great. We're going through most of June in school now because we had so many snow days anyway. So it'd be if we get it done early May, which like I said, the chief seemed to think we could do that. We would have it through May, June, and then again in
So the chief
August.
has the money in his budget now to do it.
Yeah, he's not using.
That's what I don't know. I'm not going to speak.
That's
for him
all
on
I'm
that.
saying. I need to see the plan.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you here. Like I said, I'm just floating this out. I want to see what you guys thought. If we could get a good plan together, would you guys be in favor of doing
Yeah,
this? Is really what I was looking for.
I told the chief I was in favor of it. It's just
So
a matter
yeah,
of
when the
seeing
chief
numbers,
called me
punching the
too, I was in
numbers.
favor of it. I just said I wanted to make sure we had the money.
Yep.
I think everyone's
That's
in
what I thought you
favor
guys were
of
coming here
school
tonight
safety.
for.
I thought you were coming with a plan today.
That's what he told me too. He told me the same thing.
Yeah, I think we have the beginnings of a plan. I think in order to really get into a full plan, we need more participation from the principals, to do that. And that's why I'm here to get tacit approval of the plan, see if it makes sense to you. If so, let's move forward, with that. And so, if that's what you guys want to do, would anybody want to? Who should I talk to? Just,
I think personally, this is
Could
my opinion,
coordinate
is
it.
that
We need to coordinate it through PD and town
and
administrator.
then
Yeah,
come
okay.
here and present it to us.
Yep. And then we'll probably present it to the school board too. Same thing.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I mean, if he has the money, if he has a vacant spot right now and he has money in his lines,
Well, it sounds like he doesn't have the vacant spot anymore if he hired 2 people.
They're
be a new
going through the
position.
academy at this point, so they're not,
they won't be done.
they won't be
It's,
done.
8
However,
weeks, right?
they have not had anyone in those positions
Yeah,
all
that's-
year.
Right, so there's a little extra
The money that was
Right, but
budgeted
I
is
think what
not being
Scott's saying is it would be
expended.
a whole new position. We'd be creating a whole new position.
We would. I think that would be the plan. Yeah.
Yes, which may,
Generally, when we create a whole new position, it goes out to the voters. Generally.
yeah.
I'm gonna say something right now, because it's a safety issue with our children.
I'm not against still doing it.
Well, what I'm saying is, we typically go out on a warrant article to hire new positions. And I'll be the devil's advocate here,
I'm okay
because,
not to.
well, no, I'll tell you, like, I totally support this, and I'd like to do it sooner than later, but then all of a sudden, 2 years from now, it'll be thrown in my face that, well, you hired that additional cop and you didn't have a warrant article,
But you won't hire this person.
but you won't hire this person.
I just brought it up that that's generally how we do it when we add new positions.
Well, we can, but that doesn't mean we can't do it.
No, of course, we can hire whoever we want. I'm just saying, generally, that's how we do it.
But I'm
We
just,
put it on
well,
that.
we're in public right now, and these are the
The chief
dilemmas.
will have lots of answers for us as well.
Yeah.
So we should pursue meeting and
Yeah.
getting more information.
Yeah, so if this is okay to pursue, I'll try to set up a meeting maybe even this week. And I'll talk to the commissioner, the police commission, see if somebody gets somebody from there and I think tomorrow, a couple board members are meeting with the superintendent, try to find the money in our budgets the same way, and see what we have for this year, what we have for next year, because our budget for next year has already been approved. So we're not in the same situation as you are as far as that goes. We're kind of in a worse position.
Yeah, 'cause
In
you won't-
8%.
you won't know till,
Right, we tell our 2009, we can't put it in our budget till our 2019, 2020 year. Basically, it's the first time we can actually put it in our budget and get it approved by the voters, so. All right, well, thank you guys very much. I'll be in touch.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Unfinished business? Acceptance of minutes, it looks like.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of March 27th.
I second?
Does
Any discussion?
anybody want to make any changes?
Seeing none, call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes 3-0. Processing, what do you have for assessing forms?
I have
Just
two,
the three?
yep, just the three, 2 intents to excavate and 1 report of excavated materials.
Are these all recommended?
Correct.
So there's no recommendations of denials?
Right.
I'll make a motion to approve an intent to excavate on map 217, lot 35. Property taxes have been paid. I'll also make I'll do all three of them. So I got map 217, lot 35, that's an intent to excavate. And then, are these all intent to, that's the second one.
There are 2 intents to excavate. The third is a report of excavated materials.
So, all right, let's do this. So then I have another intent to excavate on map 117, lot 25G. For the people in the audience, so you know these are, it's this Gulf Road, and the other one is on, oh, this is the one right on Route 4, right?
Right.
Okay. So I'll move those two.
A second?
Any discussion? Seeing none, call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes 3-0.
And then I'll make a motion to approve the report of excavated material for map 217, lot 35.
A second?
Any discussion? Seeing none, call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Is that your habit, flipping them over when you hand them to me? You're gonna get yelled at for that.
I'm going to yell that?
Yeah, I did last week.
Did?
Thank you, sir.
So this last one, I don't think there's anything to sign because you already,
Do we not have
Oh,
a?
did I miss one? Yeah.
yeah, I just asked.
thank you.
I don't see any, it looks like we already signed this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my chicken scratch. We already signed this one.
Ah, we're ahead of the game.
Oh, you did, but we did before.
Okay, so I don't have to, or I do have
I
to?
don't think so. We didn't have to re-sign it, so I think you're okay.
I'd like to make a motion to approve manifest P218 number 8 in the amount of,
You want me to read it?
no, I'm fine. Usually this is written down here.
Yeah. Did she
But
not write it
she
down?
Just write it out.
Oh,
Oh,
It's
well,
not,
no, it's not, she didn't write it. I'll just write it in.
I appreciate that.
get on, Sandy. She's slacking.
It's her pretty new office.
That's probably from sniffing all that paint in her office. Maybe that too.
Auditors
Did
being
you make a
displaced from
motion?
painting.
Oh,
I don't
I'm
think I
sorry.
heard an actual motion.
I make the motion to approve the manifest in the amount of $9,540.23.
I second?
Any discussion? Seeing none, call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
I believe that goes with the, on top of the,
On top of the last three that just went through. All right, what do we got next? We got some miscellaneous signatures or approval of purchase orders?
We
Approval of
do.
purchase orders. Let's do that first, I guess.
Would you like to discuss the
backhoe?
backhoe
Absolutely.
first? Charlie had received 3 quotes.
Okay.
One in which the warrant article was written from. He did receive 2 others.
Are they within the warrant article?
They
standard
are
parameters, or-
not.
So we wouldn't be able to use those ones anyways?
Well, I think the problem with the other ones is the amount for the trade-in. One through John Deere is only offering $15,000 for the trade-in, where the warrant article specifies
18.
15, or
I think it's 18.
I don't have the warrant article.
I think it might be 18.
So one is offering 15 and one is offering 11.
But do they exceed the
Does it
spending?
exceed, does it exceed?
Both are
Both
higher
exceed?
than the
So we'll have to go with the one that he
110.
went off. All right, so we're gonna have to go
So
with the
I
one.
do have them here for your review. I believe they were sent in your packet, but if you'd like to see
So
them.
let me ask you a question. Is there enough money in the warrant article to purchase the backhoe?
Yeah, and the first one, because that's the one that he
first
based
one.
it on.
There
That's
is
the one that
enough-
he based it on.
There is enough to purchase the case
Yeah, he based it on,
backhoe
Okay.
through Beauregard.
And so we did get 3 quotes.
we
Yes,
did,
we
but
do
they
have
were
3
both above
quotes.
what we need, so we'll have to go
So
with this one.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of the 2018 Case 580 SN 4-wheel drive loader backhoe. Is $110,900 with the trade-in amount for the old backhoe of $15,900, and we're approving the first of 5 payments for $20,000. So moved.
I'd just like to add that this is, has an option for a buyout in case it doesn't get approved next year.
Oh, more discussion.
Well,
Now,
second
a
it first.
buyout?
Oh, I'm
Second
sorry.
it first.
A buyout?
Yeah, hold on, second first.
Second.
Not buyout, I meant if it
called
doesn't
the
get.
non-appropriation clause.
If it
That's all you
in
need
other
to
words,
say,
we have an opt-out
non-appropriation
clause, so if
clause.
it doesn't get passed next year,
They take it back?
They take it
And we just
back.
lose the 20,000, okay.
but what was your discussion?
So, did you check with legal if we want to buy the extended warranty?
Yes, I did check with legal, and we can buy the extended warranty through the budget. We can't use any warrant article funds for
Well, I
the
knew that
purpose.
part, but
Yeah,
it's okay to use the budget?
It is okay to use the budget.
How much was it again?
It is
$2,000?
$2,000 for a 5-year extended
Charlie, think
warranty.
we have the money in the budget?
Yes, yep. He can fund it through the budget.
2,000 a year, or is it 2,000 for the full 5 years?
It's 2,000 for the full 5 years, and it can be prorated if for some reason the warrant does not pass in the previous years. You can cancel the warranty and get a refund of,
So we might, yeah, it's
of
a
the money.
no-brainer then, if he's got it in the budget.
Yeah.
and the lease agreement for the backhoe. Would you like the chairman to sign the lease agreement?
Yeah, typically, it only needs 1 signature.
The lease agreement is likely only going to need 1 signature.
If it only needs 1 signature, I'd like to amend the motion to allow the chairman to execute that agreement on behalf of the Board of
We
Selectmen.
have to sign this though first, right?
Yeah,
All
we're,
right.
I second.
Wait a minute, wait.
So we
wait,
gotta
gotta do this-
vote.
We gotta do this right. You gotta
break it up.
You have to take
No,
back your second
no,
and the first
no,
one
she
and
doesn't.
re-amend it,
You
don't
can-
you?
no.
You sure?
we're amending the main motion, so
Yeah, but she
you-
had already seconded the main motion.
it's okay.
Okay.
She seconded the
You know more than
amendment.
I do, I'm just asking.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a vote on the amendment,
Okay.
and then we go back to the main question.
All right, I'll take a vote on the amendment. Any more comments or questions?
Is this going to include the extra $2,000?
Yes.
Well, actually, don't we have to make a separate purchase
No,
for that?
we're gonna have to make a separate motion
Okay.
for that.
I second.
Okay. Any more conversation? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All
Wait
in
a
favor?
second. I'm sorry. Are we making the second? We made a mistake. I might have made a
An
mistake.
amendment to the amendment?
So,
We need one motion.
We'll need one motion to approve this.
Why don't we start
I
with?
got confused.
Let's approve the lease.
Let's buy it first.
Let's buy it first, and then we'll do a separate motion
To allow me to execute the contract, and
Oh,
the third one. to
No,
do
we're
the
good.
2000.
I take it back. We're not talking about the warranty yet.
Right.
Okay, so that was fine to allow him to sign it. Okay.
So now, I'm gonna call.
I'll
Are you
admit it, I
good?
got a little confused.
You confused me. Are we good? Are we good now?
Yeah, we're good.
I'm gonna call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0.
And now I would like to make a motion to approve, how much was the extended warranty?
$2,000.
$2,000 to come out of the highway budget. I'll let the town administrator and the road agent decide what line's the best to do that with, but I'll make a motion to allow one of the lines out of the highway budget to be used to buy the extended warranty.
A second.
Any more discussion? Seeing that, I'd just like an update of when it shows up. Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. I gotta execute the contract at some point. I can come in tomorrow and sign that, unless you want me to sign it tonight.
I don't have it
She
available
doesn't
yet.
have it.
Okay, when it's ready, just.
Do we
shoot
need
me
to
a
sign
text.
this purchase order on here or just this one?
You need to sign both. The Beauregard needs that other copy for their own records.
There's only room for one signature.
It's
on this
okay,
one.
we can all three sign it.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
fine.
just shoot me a text when you get it. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
Or an email, whatever, whichever one you prefer.
Thank you.
Just throw a rock at my house. It's not that far away.
Thank you.
Do we actually, hold on, before we get much further, do we have to actually make out a physical purchase order for the $2,000?
Yes.
That I can make out.
You have to fill out a
And
purchase
we can
order.
just sign it anytime we're
Sign
in
it.
here.
Right.
Anytime we're in here.
But that should be on a separate purchase order.
Right.
All right. I'd like to because this is money coming out of the trust fund, it's a very small amount. I almost wonder why we have to do this, but it's because it's coming out of the trust fund.
Correct.
So I'd like to make a motion to expend $23.98 from the Cable Expendable Trust Fund for 25 packs of Sony DVDs, which are $23.98. So I'll make that motion.
A second.
Any conversation? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the annual dues to the Stratford Regional Planning Commission in the amount of $5,009.92.
Do I have a second?
A second.
Any conversation?
Yeah, I have a question. And I should know the answer, but I just want to ask it because I'm not sure if I know the answer. This does not include the money for the planner.
Correct.
So this is just the dues.
Yes, those are just the annual.
So just to
dues.
help, so we get paid the annual dues, do you recall what the plan is going to cost us?
That I don't have, I don't have that information right now.
Okay. I guess I don't need that to approve this right now, but
They are two separate,
Okay.
and Linda's actually just walking in, and she may know right
Look
off
at-
the top of her head.
Linda, do you know how much the planner's going to be?
The plan?
Well, I made a motion to approve the dues. We just curious because the planner's on a separate contract, right?
Correct.
How much was the planner? I was just curious what the cost of the planner was.
20, right in the town report.
It's in the town report?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Did we call for a vote for this? No, I haven't yet. Are
No,
you good with your-
we're in discussion.
I know, but I was just didn't want to forget.
Yeah,
Are you all set?
well, she's looking up the number.
All right. I thought you were happy when she said it was in the town report.
Well, I was gonna look. I was
You'd
gonna,
go home and read
I was
it.
gonna look it up myself, but I'll give her the time.
She knows the
to,
page probably.
Probably knows what line it is.
Exactly.
You're like me. I remember numbers too very well.
You want to borrow these? These are just readers.
Want to borrow my eyes? Eyes are good.
Okay, here we are.
28, 639.
Okay, thank
Is
you.
what was budgeted.
I don't have any,
We're quite a bit below that at this point as far as running month by month.
I don't have any further questions.
You got any more?
No, I don't.
Call for the vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 3-0. Is that it for purchase orders?
No.
Thank you.
So, I guess I got a question now because of something that's brought up in public.
Should we wait on this one because now?
Well, no, I just want to discuss it. Should we hold off on, we're gonna do the backhoe because it was approved, but should we hold off on signing the PO for the backstop until we
Have an
have
actual
that
plan.
meeting to,
If you would like to, that's entirely at your discretion.
is Dave still here? Would you like to hold off on approving the purchase
we have-
order until we have the plan in place?
No, but I'd like to see a plan where it's gonna be.
Well, that's my point. Why sign a purchase order if you're telling me tonight you don't know where it's gonna be?
Well, I was told Bruce knows where it's supposed to go, but when I looked at where it's 25 feet from where a post is stuck in the ground, if they go over by first base, it does not look, just to my eye, that there's enough room for a bench behind the dugout fence.
Why don't we
On
hold
the
off
third
on
base
this?
side, it looks perfect.
I'll make a motion to table this until we have the meeting, the joint meeting with the Recreation, Board of Selectmen, and the Facilities Committee.
Maybe, you want to second that?
A second?
For discussion, maybe when we have that joint meeting, maybe we could do a walkthrough too, so we can actually see where it's gonna go.
Oh, you mean do a site
Like
visit?
meet there.
Sidewalk?
Purchasing it and getting ready is just a matter of, then you can set a date up to put it in after we have the discussion. Whatever works for you guys.
I like to have a plan before I sign things.
All right, so I'm gonna call for the vote on the motion to put this off until we have that meeting.
Okay.
Or you could just vote no to sign
I'm
it.
gonna call for the vote for the motion to put this off until we have that meeting, because that's the motion on the table, on the floor right now. So call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes
So your
3-0.
most, that's the table.
That's the
The
table.
table.
That was the motion that was on the floor.
Right.
And we have a handful of invoices from the finance department. I'm gonna take them all one at a time.
Get it straight, we're gonna buy the backstop.
Oh, yeah, no
Yeah,
stop.
we're gonna buy it. It's
We
just,
already voted for it.
yeah, we're gonna buy it.
All right, these are, this is probably to take care of the last storm.
Yes, correct.
So that little storm we had on election day, I guess we had to plow.
I
It
think
was a
this
joke, come on.
This was the storm after election day.
Was it? Well, whatever.
That little one, that little.
So
duster.
anyways, I'd like to make a motion to Damaris Enterprises in the amount of $2,897.50. It's the balance of the invoice on plowing.
Second that?
Any discussion?
No.
Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 3-0. Sports Center update.
Capital Area Fire Compact. This is for mutual aid cost and dispatch service in the amount of $42,097. So moved.
I second that?
I just got a quick
I
discussion.
have discussion.
Go ahead, I have some too, but you can go first, because maybe
Well-
I'll answer mine.
Well, no, I have, so anyways, last year, we discussed with the fire department about trying to find some cost savings with the dispatch, looking at Rockingham.
Yes, I remember that.
And I believe the police department uses Rockingham. And I know the fire
kind of-
department uses the capital
I
area.
kind of remember what you're talking, I'm not sure 100%.
So
but I think you're right.
and I also understand that we may have to do this year, but before I want to vote on this, I want to know what the game plan is, where we are at the research, because I know that if we switch, here's another area where the town can save some money on the mutual aid agreement, because we were looking at several others. Now, I need more information, but before we approve this, I'd like to know I don't want to see that plan just go by the wayside, you know what I'm trying to say?
You trying to say you want to table that until we get a plan again?
Well, I think we can do it the next meeting, but I want to know where we stand with that before
Okay, who would she talk to?
the fire chief.
Okay,
I can do that.
let's do that then.
And if we have
'Cause
to
I do
do
remember
it,
that conversation.
if we have to do it
last
for
year.
one more year, because you're supposed to give them a notice.
Right.
So I need to know, I'd like to know what the notice is we have to give them.
And if we're saving money.
And if we can save money, because we had talked about this, and I want to make sure that the plan hasn't fallen by the wayside.
Okay.
So I'm going to vote no on this
We're
tonight.
not even gonna, we don't even have to.
You want to table it? I'm
We're
going to
still-
pull
we don't-
back my
yeah.
motion.
We didn't even make a motion. All right, yeah, you did. That's
Yeah, I
right.
did. So I'd like to make a motion to, I'd like to pull my original motion back if,
You have to pull your
I
second.
take back my second.
I would like to make a motion to table this till we get a little more information from the fire chief.
I second that.
Any conversation? All right, I'm gonna take a vote on the new motion to table that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. We'll bring it back at the next
So
meeting.
just so you know, I know that we might have to give them, like, I'm not saying we're switching, but I'd like to know where the evaluation's at. I'd like to know if we decide to switch, what's the intent to notice them, and how long it would take to do that switch. And I believe if you look through the records, we did get some pricing.
Okay.
I actually think.
We definitely did talk
I
about it. I
could,
can't remember. It was a
Rockingham,
while ago.
actually, Rockingham might, actually, because we're in Rockingham County,
Right.
we save money because we pay county taxes.
Right.
So when we pay county taxes to Rockingham, it actually is cheaper for us to go through Rockingham. But I just like to.
Didn't you mention that, that meeting? I think I was here and you were talking about how you already pay a
Well, you
portion of
pay,
the taxes to
you're
the county
paying
anyway.
taxes to the county.
Right.
Right.
Why pay another county
Yeah.
or another
Yeah.
for a service you've already kind of
Right,
paid
yeah,
for?
right.
I can get with Nick on that and get all the information for you.
Thank you.
Next one is busy guy. Good for him.
Built character.
All right, I'm trying to recall this one, but for discussion, Central Energy LLC.
This is a new one. We didn't talk about this one yet.
Okay,
Right.
so, all right, well, I'll make a motion for discussion. So I'll make a motion to discuss the contracted services for the Highway Administration installation of a new compressor for heating system in the amount of $2,850. And also in here, we have to put 50% of that up front. And then the balance is due on completion. That's what it says in there.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about this.
Hold on,
So-
let's make a second first.
Oh, sorry.
I second.
Okay.
Now we can discuss.
So the heater at the highway garage recycle building area is not working. It appears that ice had fallen off the roof and onto the condenser unit and damaged it.
Something that possibly insurance would cover? Not that it's gonna change anything.
Unfortunately not, because
Below our deductible.
it is below our
I don't
deductible.
even know what our deductible is.
Isn't it like $5,000? To 5 to 10 grand?
Yeah, I know that the condenser unit itself, which they would pay for the replacement, is below the deductible. However, this is because the company that we use for our other units is not the company that installed the unit at that building. They're replacing, or they're proposing to replace not just the condenser unit, but also the wall unit that is similar to that.
Now, my only question is that wall unit we just put in? Or is that, because I know correct me if I'm wrong, we just put one in down there, or did we just put in the new one at the actual transfer station building? I thought we put a new one in at both places.
That I'm not sure of. This individual that Charlie has gotten a quote for is the one that did the ones here. Not the one that had installed the one at the recycling center. So I'm not sure what the most recent installation
I'm not
was.
sure.
Now, this is an unplanned item,
It is unplanned.
and in what line was this? It's coming out of 4311?
Right.
Contracted services.
4311?
That's what it says.
One,
contractor
43,111.
Okay.
Yeah, he says he's kicking out a contract.
Yep, I did ask Sandy where she thought would be best to take it from, and that is the line that she suggested to take it from.
Now that we just spent another 2,000 out of a line previously, are we gonna have enough to take this hit too?
We will. I mean, I think that
Nothing else can break? Pretty
we
much.
need to be conscious of our
Highway department line?
not just
Well,
that, but
this
repair lines in general. I mean, we have
This is like,
had things breaking down.
this is why when people come in, because we have a lot of public here tonight, when people come in and we can just say, well, we're gonna do this and do this and do this, there's only so much money in the budget. And just to let everybody know, it's like, that's why sometimes we have to say no.
Right.
Never easy.
The highway department has taken some hits this year. They had to some truck repair issues, and now the heater and.
Well, I know this is kind of off this topic, but reading along into what we're gonna discuss, I'm sure, in a little bit about the under drainage at Bow Lake. By reading the email that you sent me, it sounds like we're gonna have to dump some more money into that to make it right. And
Let's
where's that money gonna come from?
let's do this first, okay?
One problem at a time.
The point is out there, and we're gonna have to do it.
So my next question is, I know they're gonna need this,
Right.
but it's April.
You're thinking wait until
Could
closer to
we
winter to
wait
see how the
till
budget is?
the fall to see what our budget looks like?
Well, the only problem is that this is also the cooling system too. So, I mean.
Oh, it does the AC?
It does the AC also. So I mean, they could suffer all summer. I'm not sure how hot the building gets, to be honest.
I don't
but-
know, a metal building? What do you think?
Well, in all honesty, they shouldn't be spending a lot of time in the building anyways, but that's a different story. We won't
I
go
mean-
down there. We won't go there.
Don't go there.
We won't.
So with the 2,800, that was the condenser and the wall unit?
Yes,
Yeah, it's a new compressor for the heating sense, but you said also cools the condenser.
correct.
Okay.
And Sandy said we had the money.
Sandy did recommend taking it from that line as opposed to any other line, and
So Sandy
Charlie-
feels comfortable.
Sandy feels comfortable, and Charlie is conscious of the expenditures
I think
that
we did
have
okay
been
this year with
unexpected
this
this
plowing
year.
and sanding that. We might have some money in those lines too. I'm just kind of guessing. I'm not really looking at the lines. Just didn't seem like we had as bad.
All right, I'm good.
We'll make a motion. We just discussed it.
Well, I made a motion.
To discuss it. We didn't
All
actually
right,
make a
I'll
motion
make a
to
motion
accept
to
it.
approve it.
I second it.
Any more discussion? Seeing none? All in favor? I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes 3-0.
Now they can be warm.
I think they're more worried about being
Being
cool in the summer.
Okay. This is for Rockingham Community Action. It's the 2018 appropriation as voted on, well, as it was included in the town budget, wasn't voted as,
Right.
so it was a line item within the operating budget for $9,228, and I'll
Correct.
move that for approval.
We got a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Do you know what
No, I was gonna ask you.
Okay, so in the budget, there's the welfare or health and human services. We allot money to pay for some of these groups, and a lot of times these numbers are based on how many clients from the town we sent to them. So they come up and they give us an estimate. So it helps us keep the welfare costs down because it provides a area that we can send people to.
Right.
Any more discussion? No. Seeing none? Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0.
Those are all the
it.
purchase orders that we have.
Okay, you want to do the, while Linda's here, you want to do the 3 applications for the Class 6 roads?
Sure.
Linda, would you like to come up, please?
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah, absolutely.
can I ask a question?
You can ask whatever you want.
Linda, so we accepted that new policy,
Correct.
effective last meeting, I believe.
April 1st.
First, I believe.
But these were 3 pending before we accepted that, and I believe, these are the questions I'm gonna ask you anyways. I believe that the recommendation is we should approve these.
One of them said denied, I thought.
Did one of them say that?
I quickly read the last one I got was
if I
like
could just-
51 pages. I saw a denial. I don't know if they fixed what they were denied for, because I kind of skimmed through them all.
Was there really
Okay,
thick
some
one?
of them, okay, do
Yes.
have some information from the original zoning board applications.
Uh-huh.
But in this particular case, what you agreed to was looking at them through your old guidelines.
Yep.
Kate and I have gone through them. I think she's fairly familiar with them as well. There's a gentleman up here, Mr. Gundram, who is the first of the 3. There's also in the audience, Mr., and I won't pronounce his name correctly, Bolthwaite. And there is also Attorney Dolder, who is here with her client Suzanne and Grace, who is the 3rd one. If you would take them one at a time, it would be really helpful.
Okay.
And I think these folks, if there's any questions, are here to answer any questions
So
that you have.
which one do we want to do first?
Well, there's a list.
Just
If
go,
you go
we
by
can
the
just go through
list.
them. She's got them right here.
All right, I was going to say I have them.
Yeah, I know, they're in
I
your
think
packet.
Mr. Kuftanek is the
Huh?
first.
I think the one-
Kuftanek is
yeah,
the
I
first
can't-
one.
The one that begins, his last name begins with a K? Mm-hmm. I couldn't say his last name.
Stephen
Kuftanek.
Kuftanek,
Right?
okay.
Is that correct? Close
It's
enough?
been mangled.
Close enough?
It's not my last name, I believe so.
It's acceptable.
So I have a application here to build on a Class 6 highway or private road.
This one, when I was reading the emails, it looked like they've supplied us with the agreement to do the maintenance on the road. They've gotten the letters from the abutters that I saw, correct?
See attached, see separate sheet.
Or is that a different one? There was 3 of them that had a lot of different information.
This was the seasonal
If you
camp
want,
they're
I
taking
can
down and
just
putting
give
up
you
a
a real
log.
quick summary of each one. Would that help?
Huh?
Let's
Yeah.
do,
Quick
well, let's do them
summary.
while we do the motion, so let's do this one.
All right, we'll make a motion and then we'll discuss.
We already
it.
did. Did we?
No, we haven't made a
All
motion
right,
yet.
never mind. I'll make a motion to approve this one.
I second.
Now we're gonna go into discussions.
So this one's, Stephen.
Stephen Kuftanek. And what this is, it's a seasonal cottage on Northwood Lake. It's near Northwood Beach. They came in probably 7 or 8 months ago now, have been through the process, worked with the zoning board to get approvals, made a lot of concessions as far as working with the board and meeting what the board wanted as far as emergency safety for the vehicles. They do have a second, they agreed through the zoning board process, they have a second access which will be recorded for emergency purposes through the neighbor's yard. It's approximately, and he can correct me, about 140 feet in length from the state road to their driveway. This is probably the shortest distance on a private road that we've seen in a long time. Today, they came in with an estimate, and there's a large plan there if you'd like to look at it. But they came in with an estimate from a contractor to bring in gravel, widen the road, that section that goes from Lake Shore to the cottage, to as wide as it'll go, up to the distance of the width of it, and a copy, he provided a copy of a check. It's already been paid in full to the contractor to do the work.
Sounds like they've taken the necessary steps to
Yeah.
pretty much come to where our new policy is, basically.
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay.
Any more
No, I'm
discussion?
good.
All right, I'm gonna call for a vote on this one. All in favor?
Bye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Sorry it took so long.
When's the barbecue?
Get the next one.
Yeah, my client, July 1st, all will be done according to him.
Nice. Heard that before, right?
So barbecue's what, December 1st?
December.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Make your motion and then we'll go from there. This one, I know what this one is.
Okay.
Is this the gold weight that we do?
Yeah, gold list.
Okay, this is also
Hold
a
on, let's
season.
let us make our motion first,
Oh,
sorry.
sure.
I just wanted, so that way we can
No,
go.
okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the application to build on a Class 6 highway, a private road for Julie Smith and Robert Goldwaite.
Could you just add the map number, please, and lot number, please?
Yes, I may. Yep, map 119, lot 19. It's on Burke Road.
Second?
All right, now.
Okay, thank you. This is also a seasonal cottage, and will remain a seasonal cottage. It is on several private roads, although he did provide a statement which is going into the file, and basically there are some year-round homes very close to this. It's kept plowed all winter, very close to where the location is.
You were talking to the building inspector, and I happened to come in, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is the one where the tree went
Yes,
down
this
in
was-
the,
yes.
and you also have a email from Attorney Laura on this one.
Yeah.
I did send a question to her whether it was even really necessary to have to go through this process where it was considered
Replacing-
an act of God or
Yeah,
a
you're
storm.
not,
And
he's not actually changing the footprint, he's just
he's not,
rebuilding
and
exactly what he's had got
he's
there.
doing
So
exactly
again,
in
he's within our
kind.
new policy, within.
Yes, he
yeah.
is.
So,
So
okay.
I'm good.
All right, any more questions?
No?
Call for a vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 3-0.
Okay,
I
and
think that's the agreement and release that would go along with that one.
Okay.
Sorry that a tree fell on your house.
No,
that's
no
all.
more pine trees.
When did that happen, during the windstorm?
The pictures were horrible.
Is that the winter windstorm?
No, it's the one in late October.
Right on,
Oh, that was-
just before Halloween, right?
Thank goodness no one was in there. Yeah.
This is last name Steedenberg.
okay, this next one is also, oh, sorry,
It's all right. It's all right. Just
The
trying
last
to.
to sign. Wait.
getting ahead of myself.
It's okay. I do it all the time.
Okay, this is property owner is Suzanne Steed and Grace Burr. It's map 122, lot 39. I'll make a motion to approve the application to build on a Class 6 highway or a private road.
A second?
For discussion.
Thank you. This is also a seasonal cottage going to a small expansion. There was no actual bedroom. The bedroom and the living room were one and the same, and they wanted to bump it out a little bit. And so there was a separate area for a bedroom. I don't know the square footage off the top of my head, but it's very minor. They did get all approvals through the zoning board, and there are photos. They have done an extensive amount of upgrading of the portion of road near their property as well as the street that they had availability to upgrade, and those
Linda?
pictures are included.
So I'm looking at the page we sign on, and just for clarification, it says building permit application and denial attached.
Yeah, it was
Yes,
denied
that
at
was
one
an
point.
original denial for the zoning board, and they did meet the zoning board's criteria.
Yeah, it
and were
looks like they
granted
went
all-
back
So it's been
all-
resolved.
Yes,
Okay.
This was the one I was talking about.
And their neighbors all like them.
yes.
That's a good thing, right?
And they did set up a maintenance agreement for the portion of the road that they're on.
So correct me if I'm wrong, the only thing that's changing on this one that may infringe, not that we're using the new policy, is that they're adding a bedroom and a mudroom. That's really the only thing that's different.
Right.
So under the new policy,
This would be.
under the new which is fine, this was before the new policy. But under the new policy, we would deny this because he's make an addition to the house.
Making an addition, not necessarily a bedroom, because they're only actually relocating where the bedroom is.
Right, they're
Thank
not
goodness
changing-
it was
they're not
before
changing the square
April
footage.
1st.
They're not changing the square footage, are they? Oh, yeah, they are, 512 foot.
Yeah, it's very minor, and it's a very small space to begin with.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I mean, all right, so any more discussion? Call for a vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And we also have to sign this document too, but the owner hasn't signed yet.
Okay. So then, now, is that all that's in the pipeline? So all the new ones are gonna be going to the new
Yes,
policy?
all of the new ones will start out. We will be advising everyone who comes in of the new policy, and we will be processing it different than we have in the past, but that clears up those we have. If I could, I also have, yes, he's still here. What I'm wondering is if you would consider, I have a blank one for Kuftenek,
Yep.
meaning that they haven't signed it yet. I have one that they signed, but it didn't meet the margins for the registry. So if you would sign this, I will give it to him, and then he can mail it to them where they live out of state and get original signatures, and then...
Need to make a motion to sign this?
Well, you already
We've
approved
already
it.
approved it,
approved it.
okay, so we don't have to. we
So
just
you're gonna mail it to the owners and...
And then they can mail it back.
Well, actually, I'm being nitpicky. Shouldn't they sign it and then we sign it?
Typically, well, if you want to do that, then
Isn't he here? Or no,
He-
that's not him?
Well,
he's their authorized agent.
So he can sign
so
on
he
behalf
can
of them,
sign
right?
on behalf of them, right?
I don't know if the registry would
That
accept
might be like
it.
I'd like I'll sign it after it's been executed
Okay.
by the owner.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd prefer to get the owner's signature before I sign it.
understand.
Okay.
I have one other thing, if I could ask very quickly, and Kate has that, I don't know if she minds if I bring it
Not
up
at all.
now.
I appreciate that.
Pretty good.
Zoning Board of Adjustment.
Yes.
As you know, we've been struggling to add folks on there.
Yes.
We had 2 of the 5 regular members decide that
Had enough.
they've tried it, and they have both said that they do not want to be reappointed. I have both resignations. I got one as of this afternoon.
So do we need to put that back out in the paper?
Do you have that paperwork? or-
I have the resignation, for
I mean, do they have the sheets?
Yep, they do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So basically on the top is who we have now, and the 2 that are highlighted are leaving.
Yeah?
What I would like to suggest is that you consider appointing the 2 that,
Do we need to accept the resignations?
you can if you'd like, they're both there.
Good, okay. Yeah, I'd like to accept the resignations before I...
Yeah, I only have the one for Ruth.
Okay, and I printed out the other, it's very small, but I have it here. It was an email. If you can read it, it's very short, but it's an
So,
email.
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of Ruth
Voltaggio.
Baltagio with regret.
I second it.
Any discussion? Just like to say thanks for her service.
No.
Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes 3-0. Here, you want that one? There's a second one.
It's down at the bottom.
So I will accept make a motion to accept the resignation of Tim Jandabar with regret.
I second that.
Again, thanks for the time and service for the town. Any further? Call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0.
Now I'd like to make a motion to approve Brenda D'Amato with the end date of 2021, and Justin Miller with an end date of 2021. I'd like to move them for appointment to the ZBA.
I second that.
Any further discussion? I'd like to just.
Could I have a little information about
Well,
it?
they've both been serving as alternates. If you look at the top, you can see they're on the other.
Oh, okay.
They've been learning the process, and they have been voting when regular members are out.
Okay.
So I spoke with both of them, and they're both interested in moving up to full members.
Before we call for a vote, are you asking us that we should put an ad for alternates, or you want to just put something on Facebook, or what do you want to do?
Well, I'd like to see you put an ad in the paper, use the forum, the website, any other means that you can get the word out to.
No, go ahead.
But I think these folks have been training. It leaves us.
I'm okay with these two
Oh, okay.
going on. I'm looking for the alternates, so if somebody else gets done.
Okay.
Before we do that, though, why don't we check with some of the other committees and see if they're looking for more members, so we only put one ad out for whatever we're looking for any committees?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know recycling, if we're gonna do a committee, we need to get something, because we got nobody now.
Right. We just held a staff meeting today, and Linda was kind enough to help me create a very user-friendly form that people can fill out online.
Okay.
We can put that on our town website. We can put
So that way we're
information
doing
out
one
there.
advertisement instead of a bunch of different
Right.
ones.
Right.
Other than that, any other discussion on that? No. Call for a vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 3-0 to appoint those two. And then you can get
That
together.
You don't have the paperwork ready yet, right?
I do not. No.
We can just sign that any day. We could get together with the department heads or
Right.
the rec, or whoever runs the chairs to each committee and see where they are on members.
Right, and that's something that Dee and I will be working on this week. And hopefully we'll have something out by next week.
All right. And if I could just mention on the third item on that same sheet, why it's very urgent that we try to find alternates as soon as possible.
Because of that case that we just dealt with?
That case, two of the folks the two folks that just left were two that were able to vote, so that now has knocked that number back down again. And this has been a case that's been ongoing, so.
They won't be able to vote, they will be able to vote on that case?
No, I mean.
Eligible to vote, and those two are eligible to vote. So they'll be eligible to vote on that case.
3 of them are, I believe.
Yeah, and that 2 of the 3.
This one says temporary.
Yeah, but
They can still.
correct me
The
if
2
I'm-
above can vote, but
Right.
we need 5.
But you actually only need 3 to carry the vote, correct?
3 to carry the vote, but the applicant has continued the meeting because what happens is if there's only 3 out of the 5, that means all 3 have to vote in favor. It puts them at a real disadvantage. They would, and it's also been issues if it goes to court and there's only 3, sometimes it's been sent back for that reason. It's best to have at least 4, if not 5, voting on all of these cases.
Try to get some alternates. That's all we
Thank
can
you.
do. That's all we can do is
That's
put it
right.
out there and see if somebody wants to do it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome.
What are we opening bids for?
Happy building.
Lawn chair.
All right, before we go into that, I kind of want to hit what you talked about real quick. Is that a liability issue?
For what?
To have a volunteer mow the lawn
I got, well,
using our equipment? Because that's going to change
I'd
these
like to
bids if
go-
we decide to do that.
I'd like to discuss some stuff in non-public.
Okay. About this? Yeah. Are we going to open them? We got to
Well,
open them
if
in
you're
public.
gonna,
We got to open
you
them.
gotta open them in public, but we don't have to make a decision.
All right, so let's open them. We'll go from there.
Open them and go from there? Would
Yeah.
you like to open them? Would you like me to open them and you review them?
Hey, I could
Whatever
see,
you prefer.
if I could see you slicing them, I'm
I'm a
good.
little scared there right now. She's got the weapon in her hand.
She's feeling kind of brave. I'm a little nervous.
I'll let you do the honors.
All right, I'm gonna actually write these ones down now. Difference landscaping. Is that what it's called?
I gotta get the first one here. Okay. So I have, what is the name of
This
this?
is the total one right there. I'll make it, it doesn't say.
This is Derek Young, Maintenance Manager.
Whatever, that's all
All
I
right,
need
hold
to
on.
say.
Client references. Okay, this guy's called it Make a Difference Landscaping. And his bid is...
$46,015.
Yep, $46,015.
I got a question before we go much further. I
46,000.
noticed a couple lawns on here that I don't understand why our employees can't mow them. The transfer station, that's the smallest lawn known to man in the town of Northwood.
I took the, I took the bid document that was put out
And it's the most expensive one too.
2 years ago, and,
Because he has to probably report those.
All right, go ahead.
okay, so I put out the bid document that,
Did last year?
that we did 2 years ago, because last year we just extended the contract for the individual, or the company that was awarded the previous year. After I put the bid document out and the bid deadline had closed, Steve Bailey had informed me that some of these properties the town does on their own,
Yes.
which was news to me.
Well, technically, it's always been the transfer station was always part of the lawn bid, but it was always done by the employees for the longest time. They,
All right,
they
well,
just got away with not doing it.
Let's open up the bids.
Go ahead.
And I have a suggestion.
We'll discuss it.
After, we'll discuss it.
Is there a list of the properties they're gonna be doing?
Well, here's the list of the properties that, that we currently do. I don't know if they're all on this one, but that's what we currently do.
So it's the mowing and then the spring and the fall cleanups. So it's,
Okay, this contractor is Todd Renlet's Trucking and Property.
what would you say at the beginning?
I'm sorry,
Trucking and property?
Todd Randlet's Trucking and Property.
Thank you.
His
Right there.
bid is a hourly rate?
No, he's got a lump sum.
He's got a lump sum, $23,940.
I think the hourly rate is just depend if we need to, for extra cutting. I don't know.
Well,
The 23,000,
It's
does
not-
that include the fall and spring cleanups like,
well, he's got, all right, so the name of the vendor, he's got in here $45 to $55 depending on the equipment being used, per mow per cleanup, lump sum seasonal cost optional is $23,940.
Which would be better. Well, I guess it could be better,
Well,
depending on how many hours he works.
So I need, so if we were to discuss this, we'd need to get clarification.
How many hours?
Does he want to do, I think we got to make a decision, do we want to do hourly or the lump sum?
On this guy, if we take this guy's bid. Okay.
Well-
So what's that?
these two? You said the cleanup, is that what this is? And then the mowing separate?
The fall cleanup is new to me. All we ever
Because
did
this
was
is
mowing.
saying almost 10,000 for spring cleanup, 13,000 for mowing all summer, and then another almost 10,000 for fall cleanup.
Yeah, we,
So with the 23,000 you're talking about, the cleanups, and then the
just
hourly
lawnmower.
rate is the,
I don't know, it's not spelled out.
okay.
although,
But it's a huge difference. in
although I
the
will
numbers.
say that this fall cleanup and spring cleanup is new. I thought we were just bidding out mowing, because we don't generally do the,
Why, typically, we do the spring cleanup, we don't do a fall cleanup.
okay.
Again, it was in the bid document that was previously used, so.
All right, so here's the other one, you want to just put
Let's
them
put them
there?
up there for now, unless you need that copy. Just put them all up there for now. so she can. move
Well,
on.
do we have paper clips there or something so we can,
I have a couple of paper clips.
You can steal some of mine.
Here, I have the big blue one.
I want to make sure they don't get mixed up.
Right.
Got another one in here somewhere. No, maybe. All those trees we just killed. All right, what's next? Holy cow, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's,
Received 9.
9?
Actually, we only got like 2. 2 years ago. Damaris. Is this Damaris?
yep,
Damaris Enterprises.
the Maris Enterprises.
Spring cleanup, fall cleanup. Oh, he's got it all the way below.
Oh, that's the,
Skip to the dollar page.
Hourly rate.
$55 an hour.
He's got just got hourly rate, $55 an hour. 45 to
Paper
50,
clip?
depending on
Yeah.
equipment.
So there's no,
Seasonal. So we'd have to.
Next one?
We'd have to figure out how many hours it's gonna be and all that good stuff.
Okay, this bid's for $16,500.
Rock solid. Rock solid what?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. I read it quick. Rock solid landscapes.
Yep, 16,500.
Hold on, 16,500. Is that everything?
I would assume, in the contract, did it say fall, spring and fall cleanup?
Yes. Yeah.
So I would assume that bid's for the whole kit and caboodle.
the price is
Do we,
just
by
so
any chance, do you
crazy.
know how much we paid last year? Just for kind of a
Okay.
comparison?
Well,
We paid almost 12,000 last year. It was 11,000 and change last year. I do understand now that the contract was obviously reduced from
Right.
what these people are bidding on. I mean, it likely did not include
Some of the
fire
properties.
stations and the transfer station. And if you're saying it maybe didn't include a spring cleanup or a fall cleanup,
I
then,
don't remember, honestly.
right.
Okay. So this one's from Lawn Care. This is the guys that did it the last few years, correct?
no, this is from
Ideal Landscaping.
Ideal Landscaping. Okay, Ideal Landscaping, $17,250.
Or $50 an hour?
$50 an hour,
Or
lump
something.
sum seasonal option, $17,250.
Okay. We're out of paper clips.
You're out of paper. You know, I'm gonna put them back in the envelopes.
Where to go?
Burgess Landscaping Services. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Burgess Landscaping Services.
Hey, turn your hearing aid up. Turn your hearing aid up. You're gonna put in the mouth.
Whoop, whoop, there's another thing here. Burgess.
Last page.
See attached.
$50 an hour.
Oh, okay. Per hourly rate's $50. Lump sum seasonal cost option is $12,490.
Okay, on to the next one.
Should have wrote smaller. Running out of paper.
Okay.
Funai's.
Funai's Lawn Care and Landscaping.
I've only heard of like 2 of these.
Their bid is $12,000.
They have an hourly rate by any chance?
Well, I'm getting to that page.
Get on it.
$82 an hour or $12,000 for the
That
season.
makes no sense. How can you go from $50 an hour, $12,000 to $80 an hour and the same $12,000?
They have super fast lawnmowers.
The discounting it for
The seasonal?
yeah.
I was gonna say, it makes that kind of makes no sense, but okay. That makes it an easy decision which one to take there.
Well,
If
I
we
will
take that.
suggest is when we actually,
Send it out to
when
the
we
facilities
actually,
committee.
no, we need to, I've learned many times you need to have a discussion on the phone with these guys. You pick like a couple, like a backup ones, and, cause you wanna make sure there's a complete understanding with expectations.
Right. What
Before
they're actually
we,
going to do.
before we sign on the dotted line. Hodgkins Painting and Maintenance, $11,650. And,
Is that 11.6?
he says 6 monthly payments of $1,941.60 is an option also, but lump sum seasonal cost is $11,650.
Last one.
Wow.
Did our guy from last year even bid? We'll find out right now.
It's not up your son.
No, he didn't.
PJ Russell Landscaping. Oh, only 45,000.
That's a bargain.
What's this, Bedford?
$45 an hour.
Still makes no sense.
Per lawn, per cleanup, attached sheet.
Well, he wasn't the most expensive.
Wow, he's got some details here. Okay, so he's saying town of Northwood. So the lump sum, all inclusive, is $45,000. Hourly rate for landscaping services, spring cleanup, weekly mow visits, fall cleanup, $45 an hour.
Weekly mowing visit, 1,500.
So per service rate, spring cleanup, $5,000, weekly mowing visit is $1,500, and fall cleanup is $5,000. Okay,
He's similar to the first one then, where he had 2 different rates of pay.
so,
The payments are different.
all right, so we publicly open the bids.
All right.
I
So
suggest
we
that-
table it
Well,
or send it to the facilities committee. Because that's usually what we do. Or you had some conversation. I
think we- I think we should take it under advisement and,
Okay.
yeah.
You want me to do a bid spreadsheet?
Yeah,
Comparing
I'd like to
apples
do a
apples?
bid spreadsheet and, yeah, I'd like that suggestion. Thank you for the idea. So bid spreadsheet. I guess maybe, if we have, if it's not clear, I mean, as a selectman, if it's not clear, would it be, you think it'd be appropriate for her to get clarification?
Yeah, you've got some that are $30,000 more, but they also specified more about the cleanup. So the 12,000, is that really a cleanup or is that just a weekly mow? And what does a cleanup really, what do we need? Like moving the sticks?
Right.
You know,
Well,
that
I'll give you an
fall down?
example, like for Memorial Day, these Memorial Day, they like to have this pretty nice
Right,
because,
of course.
yeah.
Company's coming.
Well, yeah, but typically, I've seen them in my 20 years. They've been kind of. There's been 1 or 2 times that it hasn't been up to par. Let's
I don't
say.
even know. I don't get to do that. I don't get to walk in the Memorial Day parade. I have to work.
So, yeah, let's do a spreadsheet.
Holidays off. All right, spreadsheet, and then we'll go from there.
But I think if there's some uncertainty,
I can call for
just
some
say, we
clarification.
just need clarification, this is your bid. I'm gonna return those to you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you staying organized.
$82 an hour. I've got the wrong job.
Well, no, you know.
I got the wrong job.
You know what, then you're probably joking, but you gotta factor in the maintenance costs,
right.
insurance.
Driving.
The kid's probably making 12.
All right, let's move on. 2018 schedule of general assistance.
Yes, your welfare officer, David Balin, has proposed a new schedule for general assistance when it comes to, I apologize, it's getting out of control here.
Too many piles.
I think you have to go here.
So in your packets, you did receive the 2018 proposed general assistance, which is what the town would pay for welfare recipients, should they qualify.
Doesn't he get this from some state publication?
He likely uses what HUD uses. I know when I was welfare administrator, that's what I ended up
The
proposing.
guidelines are pretty similar across
These
town to
the
town.
I have not looked at the most recent HUD, but they do seem in line with what HUD normally was. And this is what he allows when he's doing his calculation to see if they qualify for assistance.
Is it like a huge increase from the last one then?
I don't
Or probably a small increase?
actually know. I mean, looking at those maximum allotted levels, they're pretty in line with what rents are going for right now. And if, for instance, an applicant comes in and has a one-bedroom apartment and is paying $1,200 a month for rent, the town would only calculate in $1,000 into that calculation to determine assistance.
So we'd only say, we can only give you 1,000.
It's not how much we would give them, that's how much we would assess as a need. And then the calculation is based on need expenses compared to their income. And if it is a deficit, then they would qualify for assistance.
So for, okay. Because I don't obviously understand this. So I'm gonna ask some more questions. So for example, let's look at the one bedroom.
Right.
So the maximum amount is $1,000.
Plus utilities.
Without
Right.
utilities.
Yeah.
If with the utilities would be $1,564.
Correct.
So somebody comes in, needs assistance, and he says, let's say it's including utilities, and he comes in, he says, well, my rental for the month is $1,800 with utilities.
Yep.
What happens then? Do we give them I would assume, to me, this is like, well, this is the cap you can get.
Right.
Is it, and then
When you're calculating welfare assistance, you take the individual's income, whatever their income might be, and compare that to what's considered need, and that's in your welfare guidelines. And there are certain things that are considered need, which is, housing, electric, heat, food,
are all these things considered need?
prescription.
So for example, just for the rent,
Right.
let's just say we're not talking prescription.
Right.
Would that be okay? So we're gonna give you, this is our cap for rent.
No, again, and it's not like they come in and say, I need rent assistance, and we say, okay, we're gonna pay this much money towards your rent.
So we could actually give them more for rent.
We could give them more based on what they qualify for. So if they qualify for $1,200 in assistance, that could be applied to their rent if it was even $1,500.
So if their rent is, I think he was trying to say, if the rent is like $600,
Right.
did they get the 600
No.
or the 1,000?
this is for the calculation
Okay.
to determine eligibility. So this is not what we are giving them. This is the amount that we will consider eligible is $1,000 of whatever your rent is. So there's typically a budget spreadsheet.
So that's what I'm saying though.
Yes.
All right, so they come in and say, I'm out of work, I'm in
Right.
destitute
Yep.
times. My rent's 1,500.
Right.
We give them 1,000.
We give them 1,000.
Yes,
We
basically.
don't give them 1,000.
They
We
pay the landlord or
include
whatever.
1,000 in the budget spreadsheet to determine what they qualify for.
Well, I think we're talking the same thing, but we're talking around each other.
Right.
They could also qualify then for
I
a
just
food
don't want
allotment.
the public meeting for applicants to think that when we
Right.
Yeah, we don't
say,
just give money away.
So what?
that
yeah,
we
well,
say
no,
when
what
our
I'm- see,
maximum
okay.
allotted level
All
is
right, I'm,
$1,000, we're not going to give you $1,000.
Right.
We're going to include $1,000 in the
I used-
calculation to
I used to
determine
be
eligibility.
I used to be a state auditor and I used to do federal compliance.
Right.
So if I was, and it might sound wrong, if I was looking at this and I'm just looking at this thing, trying to understand this, is, well, it says your cap for a rental is $1,000. You paid them $1,200. You went $200 over your cap. You see what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but in the applying for general assistance, that's not how it's calculated.
So you'd have to work it out with your landlord, the additional $200, if you did qualify for the full 1,000 and received it.
No, I think she's saying that depending on the circumstances and the need, he might get the whole thing.
They might get the whole thing, or they might get much less.
They might get nothing.
He might get nothing.
We might apply $1,000 into the math calculation, but at the end of the day, your income
So you're saying
is
these
at
are
a certain
just,
It can
level.
offset
you're
it.
saying these are just for doing the calculations?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So they could, at the end of the day, only qualify for $200 in assistance, and we would pay $200 towards their rent.
Okay.
Even if they needed more?
Even if they indicated that they needed
It's
more.
just like,
It's like when you have a kid and you apply for Healthy Kids.
yeah.
If you make too much money, you don't get it.
Right, it's
Right,
based on income also,
Exactly.
not just expenses.
Is
So-
there like how many times you can apply? I mean, I'm asking, 'cause I don't know.
No,
Sure there isn't.
no, it's just based on need,
All right, I guess I get it now.
yeah.
Okay, we gotta make a motion, or?
I move that we approve this 2018 schedule of general assistance based on the recommendations by the welfare director.
I second?
Any more discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Can I ask a question?
Sure, motion passes 3-0, but you can ask a question now.
Would it be possible to have somebody come in and do, could he do a presentation on this, how one of these calculations?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That'd be helpful.
Because I really, I would like to see, and I'm talking about like with handouts and,
We need to discuss too, when we get to Selectmen's minutes about the next meeting too. 'Cause
Okay.
You're not gonna be here, correct? We need to decide if we're gonna move it or if we're
well,
just gonna
we
move
can
it.
talk
Yeah,
about it.
when we get to that point.
So yeah, if you could set up a presentation for us,
Absolutely,
thank you.
no problem.
Okay, lifeguard applicant recommendation.
So Sharon had presented me with another
You to
applicant.
sign
No, you gotta sign one of them. This one, which one did you sign,
it? What are we
Scott?
signing?
What?
Which one did you sign?
Oh, I'm sorry.
There was like 4 different copies.
No, I thought we each had one.
We do, but we gotta only sign
All
one.
right, I'm sorry.
We can't each sign our own,
Okay.
we gotta sign one. Keep this up, we're gonna have to go to Cooper Hill before meetings.
So with the lifeguard applicants, we have now hired
Like 5?
we've currently hired 4 individuals. One of them was 2 meetings ago, or actually no, 2 of them were 2 meetings ago, and
Can I ask
2
a
of
question?
them were
Are we
last meeting.
Are we discussing all the lifeguards?
I think we need to discuss them all at once.
I have to recuse myself.
Okay. Okay.
Do I have the?
Have the information.
I'm sure
on
I do
that?
somewhere.
Okay.
It's a lot of paperwork. Too much of it.
All right. Anyways.
No heckling the selectmen.
I was still Scott.
Like you're in the timeout bench over there. That's why I had a done pile over here. Too many papers.
Okay, so at the last meeting, the Board of Selectmen were presented a proposal to hire 2 individuals. Those 2 individuals were lifeguards that had been hired, but then it was determined that they were underage, so we had to lay them off for the remainder of the season. After some discussion at the last meeting, you made the motion, the board made the motion to authorize them at $9.51 per hour. I have that back before the board because at the previous meeting, you had hired one of the individuals who had been underage, and we had to lay that individual off at $9.80. So now there's a pay discrepancy between those 3 individuals. We have one that is hired at $9.80, and we have 2 that are hired at $9.51. So I'd like the board to at least get them on the same page, whatever pay rate you feel is appropriate.
So, my question is because 2 of these were before the board had changed, can we actually change it with a different selectman?
Yes.
Two of these were voted on before the board had changed.
Yeah, you still can.
Okay. And I don't remember doing Autumn Graham's new hire. I only remember the 4 that are on top. Well, 5.
You
Well, I
did.
don't remember 4. I remember
Right.
Emma,
You did
Ben,
Emma.
Elijah, and Tyler.
You
Those
did-
are the 4 I remember.
You did Emma,
Ben,
Autumn.
did we?
Yes,
That was last
did 2 meetings ago.
Too many of
You
them.
did Emma, Autumn,
And Tyler.
Taylor,
Taylor. Why do I say
and
Tyler?
Stephanie.
Taylor. But yeah, and Stephanie's no longer with us, correct? She's not,
I think she withdrew
yeah, she
her
withdrew.
application.
She withdrew.
So Stephanie's not coming back?
Correct. So we do have the
And Alex is not returning, is that what that said, right? That,
Right, Alex is not returning.
so I could cross them off.
I don't see an issue why we can't bring her to the 980. It's only 30 cents. But
Yeah, we had, at the last meeting, you had brought Ben and Elijah on at the $9.51.
I mean, you're asking these people, well, you know, the teenagers to spend their day at the summer making sure the children are safe.
Okay.
They can make more at McDonald's. I'm okay with them getting $9.80.
Okay, so if that is the direction that the board wants to go in, then,
you need to make a proper motion.
right, you would withdraw your motion from the last meeting and make another motion to hire
Wait.
these individuals at $9.80.
Wait, though Scott made the motion at the last meeting, so he can't withdraw it if he's recusing himself.
Correct.
Well, are we talking about my daughter or the other?
No, we're talking about the other 3. Your daughter's already set because she's returning. Her wage isn't going to change.
Right.
We're talking about.
So you can come back and play.
So what happened? What happened is I guess the way I understand it is what happened is when you recused yourself that night, there was a person in that group that was when you decided the next meeting that you didn't want to give them the more money because they'd only worked like a week.
Whoa.
There was a person in that group.
I guess I have a question.
There was a person in that group that we
Are
had
we
decided.
paying all the lifeguards the exact same?
Well, not at this time, because, but.
No,
the-
you're asking to spring up the other three by the 40, whatever.
What was proposed by Sharon was to pay them all the $9.80, get them on board, and then work with the kids to see who maybe wants to step into a lead position or who has certifications and make adjustments and pay from there.
Historically, the lifeguards that've been repeating
Right,
got paid a little more than.
Right, they had the next step or
right,
last.
right.
Right, but I think
So
what
who's
her argument
returning?
is-
Just
I think
Taylor's
what our-
returning?
No, I think what our argument is they're all technically returning.
Well, no,
But
they're
they
not.
didn't-
they didn't work,
No, they're
though.
not. They
They worked like a month.
No, they didn't. They
It was
worked
like
a
a-
couple days.
No, it was like a
No,
month.
they worked a couple days.
I think it was longer than that.
The
But
Department of Labor was down here after the first week they were here.
was it that quick? I
Yeah.
thought it was like a month.
Sharon indicates they worked from, well, they've had, she said, indicates the start date May 21st to June 23rd.
Right, but they didn't work, they were still in school.
They were
So,
still in school. They worked.
how many
they
shifts
might
did they
have-
work? I think that's what
Yeah,
he's.
I don't have that
I
information.
can tell you they worked about 5 days.
Right.
Probably the few weekends that were.
So we'd have to either decrease the one that we approved the first meeting or increase the other two that we approved the second
Well,
meeting.
it's not
That's-
fair to someone
that's
who
what
worked
we're
the
optioning.
entire summer last year to make the same rate of pay.
So then we
that
have to
people that-
decrease, who was the one we'd have to decrease the Emma Toby because she's
And
the one
Autumn.
that didn't work the whole year.
If you want them to be all
Autumn.
on the same
And then the only one that would be,
pay rate.
the only one that would be the higher pay rate would be the one that's returning, that worked the full year last year.
Correct. If that's the direction that you want to go in.
My question is have we already told the other two that they're gonna make $9.80 an hour? So when we take that money away from them, then they're obviously not gonna be happy.
Correct. Sharon did present it to them that she was proposing it to the board at $9.80. One of the parents did come in and express their concern about being hired at the lower rate.
Right.
I don't know. That's kind of a tough one because would really think it'd be fair to the one that did work all
No,
season.
no, it wouldn't be fair.
But I could understand we've already told the other two that they're gonna make that, so it's kind of like
I mean, if we're going to bump up the other three, then we need to bump up someone who worked the entire year last year. That was not the fair
we
thing.
could do that
You
too.
can't make her work for the same that she
could do
has
that.
a year.
See, this is why. All right, I'm gonna go back in the audience. I don't. If you're gonna be discussing my daughter, I
We're
think-
not.
Well,
Yet,
okay.
but
I'm gonna.
that's
I'm
an option.
I'm-
We could
I'm
do
just-
that.
Okay.
All right, so but I mean,
So why don't we just do that
because you
then?
have to
Then
let
that-
me,
that makes
even if it
easier.
wasn't her, regardless of whose daughter it is, would you be insulted if you worked the entire summer and then 5 new people were hired at the same rate of pay?
Well, I'd be pissed.
Exactly.
I'm okay. So what's, do you happen to have what would be the next step after the 980? So why don't we just do that then?
What's the step after the 980?
Why don't we just do that then? Then it's
It's like
fair
40
for the
cents
4.
more?
Then
39
it's
cents
fair
more?
for the 4, and then we can, it's fair for everybody.
Could you do?
I'll do the other 4 first, and then I'll
And
do
then
her
let
last.
me know, yeah.
Yes, I'll take care of that. And it's fair for
I
everybody.
don't want to get into that.
No, then it's
discussion.
fair for everybody, and it
But let it be no we gave her the raise.
saves the whole issue.
That's the way it should be.
I mean, it's only 29 cents. It's not gonna break the bank.
You're making like 10.09.
It's probably not much of a difference.
Jeez.
It'll probably bump her to the next tax level. She'll make less.
Doesn't look like the pay scale was replaced in this.
I might have it in mind.
There's a 2.5% step in between each. I don't know. Any of you have your phone, if you can calculate?
I got the pay scale right here.
Okay.
You know what labor grade it is?
It is,
Labor grade 1.
1, correct?
So it'll be 1009.
Oh, I was right.
All right, so you want me to make the motion or you want to do it?
Okay.
All right. So, all right, we'll do, this is what I'll do. So I'm gonna make a motion to hire Emma Toby, Ben Brieger, Elijah Henriksen, Sam Patterson, Autumn Graham at
It's step
labor
two.
grade,
Two.
labor grade 1, step 2 at $9.80 an hour to be lifeguards.
A second?
Second.
Any conversation?
Oh, no.
No.
Call for a vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now do you want to step away?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm gonna make a motion to hire Taylor Breyer. Why do I ever say Tyler?
Taylor.
Taylor Breyer at $10, labor grade 1, step 3 at $10.09 an hour to be a lifeguard.
A second?
Any discussion? I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 2 with 1 recused.
Okay.
Come whenever you want. You didn't have to leave. You could have just recused and sat there.
what? It's the right thing.
We could have spun you in the corner.
And since you had previously not hired Sam Patterson, you have now made the motion. This just needs to be signed.
Yeah, that will make it even for everybody. So nobody feels like they got the slight.
Right.
Does that go with it?
Now you're dark.
I think that was just your copy from the packet.
And sunscreen.
East Coast Container has submitted a proposal to purchase the unused containers that we've now moved off to the side for $1,000 each. I just received this in this week. I don't know if the board wants to entertain.
How many are there? How many containers were there?
Two.
They want to buy our old containers?
Yeah, they'll put the money into them and fix them and reuse them.
What were we gonna do with them?
I've been approached with a couple different scenarios of some things we could use them from. I'm up for option. I'm open for whatever.
Like what?
I'm okay with selling.
We could use them.
Somebody said something about turning one on its side and then you can store some stuff in there, but eventually it's going to collapse in the middle. I mean, I think we could, personally, I'm not sure if we could do this, but I don't see why we couldn't sell those for $1,000 a piece and then take that money and buy like another truck body like we just bought. But I don't know if we could take that money
So
and put
wait,
it
if
in the
we
recycling fund.
if we sold those,
Will it go into the recycling
well,
fund?
I think it should.
I think it should too. But then we could turn around and take that $2,000 because that's about what we paid for one of those truck bodies just recently. And if you got 2 of those, you put them side by side with a gap in between, and you build a roof, and there's your spot to put your refrigerators out of the weather. It's a simple, cheap, cost-effective fix. You
They
leave
would
a
look
gap
nicer.
between them. You build a roof in between them. You got 2 places for storage, and then you can put your refrigerators right in between them. That's just my thought process on it. It's up to you. Do you want to sell those too? Speaking of containers, how's our new one coming?
Sandy had emailed to find out the status of it, and she did not get a response. So she was going to
Did we
be
pay
calling.
that out yet?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, so we haven't paid the purchase order out yet?
Right.
Okay. So at least we haven't paid it out and not gotten it. So we just haven't gotten it. Okay.
How much was the new one?
Oh,
It was like $8,000, something
Yeah.
like that. Something like that.
yeah, it was around that price.
It's supposed to be bigger than what we had.
Correct.
So it's up to you guys. Want to entertain selling those, or do you want to use them for something else?
I actually, and I'd probably defer to you because you probably have a little better understanding with the stuff down the transfer station.
I don't see why
I think it's not a bad idea.
Personally, I think if we can take that money legally, sell those, and purchase something that's going to be like a truck body or maybe a rhino cover all thing that are those do last for a while.
We're gonna need money too for if we have to go out and find a new
Vendor.
vendor.
I mean, they're not getting used now, and they're just sitting there. They've been sitting there for 2 years. in the same spot.
You know what, I'll make a motion to sell those containers for $1,000 a piece.
A second?
Just wanna, for discussion, can we check with legal to see if we can put that in the recycling fund? Or if it has to go into the general fund?
Would they bought out of the recycling fund?
I would think they'd have to be.
Well,
They should have been.
I think if they were bought out of the recycling fund, if they were bought out of the recycling fund, there's no reason you can't return the proceeds from the sale of them back into the recycling
Okay.
fund.
The town typically takes revenue that is gained from the transfer station and then rolls that into the
We
into
take
the fund? Is that
revenue-
typically how?
We take the
Yeah,
revenue.
whatever we get for recycling.
So,
Technically, we're recycling them. Technically.
I think, yeah, all right, I like this.
Technically, we're recycling them.
So we take, we're taking those, we're gonna put it into the, transfer station revenue,
Yeah.
and then at the end of the year, we'll put that money into the trust fund.
Yeah, we can
And
turn
then
it.
that will get voted at town meeting.
Right.
I think,
Alright.
maybe we can
That'd
get
probably
with,
be the cleanest way,
yeah.
accounting wise.
Yeah.
Yep, and then maybe get with Joe and see, like, because I had spoke to him, the last time I was in there, about, like, what he thought he needed for maybe additional storage. And he had spoke that he would like another truck body, but something smaller, like, kind of like the old one now that's next to the swap shop size. So maybe we can see what he possibly would like to use that money for. I mean, he is he is a supervisor, it is his thing, but, all right, anyone what?
No.
Call for a vote, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Just get a date of when he's gonna get them out of there. Obviously, check first. Okay.
Got it. And the final piece of business that I have for you under signatures and approvals is an addition to the audit services. With the change of hands between Judy and Savannah, the audit needed, the tax warrant needed to be recommitted, and Judy's work needed to be audited and then transferred over to Savannah. So that cost is an additional $1,000 for the audit.
Okay, I gotta ask a question.
Right.
Because I won't even say it, but I have a little auditing experience. So my question is when was Judy's last day?
Judy's last day was March 19th.
All right, my next question is, have we had any responses to the opening?
We had one, and it was from someone who lives out of town, so we have to decline. Yeah, we have to
We
decline
can
their
hire them as
application.
the deputy.
No, they have to live in town.
The
as a
deputy has to live
yes,
in town?
because if something happens to Savannah, they have to take over.
Right. So we are putting it out there a little farther to try to attract some more
So-
interest.
Well, my question is are we getting close to where we might have to extend her contract? Because we're already almost 30 days in. Pretty
Well,
close.
can we
Go ahead.
focus on this?
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman. So my question is they're coming in and doing a financial audit
Correct.
for the period that we hired them for.
Right.
Okay? As part of that audit, they would have to test the revenues and receipts. The town's revenues and receipts.
Right.
So what are they doing in addition to that? What is this transition thing?
They have to balance it out. So as of March 19th, whatever is on the books,
So they charge us $1,000 more to do this March night, like whatever that date is?
right, and it's a process of recommitting the warrant, and so basically, they had to, any transactions that were done from March 19th to the time that they audited, they had to remove and balance as of, not really remove, I mean, they're still on the
So then
books.
I'll ask you this
Right.
other question. So what's gonna happen is they're doing an audit from January 1st to December 31st.
Right.
Then next year, they're gonna do an audit again of all the town records for the subsequent audit period, which
Correct.
would include this period that she's transferring out.
Right, and it's the statutory language.
So this is
that
required, it's
indicates-
required by statute?
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that makes
Yeah.
a difference.
Yeah, it's required to have a recommittal of the tax warrant and to have it balanced out and the books closed for Judy. Judy's books need to be closed, which is separate.
So they're
From-
telling, they're not asking, pretty much.
Pretty much. The town can elect to not do it. However, they've really already
Right.
worked with the two.
So can I ask, all right, thank you. That answered my question. Because aren't we paying, the whole audit's what, 16,000,
I
18,000?
believe that's the total amount, correct?
I guess if we have to do it, we have to do it. I also like to allow that DJ as chairman to execute this on behalf of the town, so I'll make a motion to allow the chairman to sign this.
A second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Just for the record, this is an extra $1,000 that wasn't in the budget. Just pointing it out.
You are correct.
Okay, so now we're gonna, anything else from you?
But we still want to buy the warranty.
Not as far as miscellaneous
Okay.
signatures and approvals.
We're gonna move on to, do you wanna do yours first, or do you want us to do ours first? Individual selectmen's report, or do you wanna do yours first?
I got a few things.
All right, so let's
So it's up to
let's
you.
do ours first. Individual selectmen report. Got anything, Scott?
Yeah, I have one thing. And I did approach the town administrator with it already, but I would like to consider discussing and possibly doing it is I've gotten some feedback from some residents, and I would like to have try to get the website more on par the way it should be.
That's a great idea.
I'd like to have, I'd like to get information out there on a timely basis. I'd like to streamline that process of like if a new business comes to town, that, so that it's easy that somebody can just come in, they put in the form.
So they don't have to do it on Facebook?
Well, no, I'm just saying, I was thinking about this.
No, yeah, I agree 100%.
The
website
website is a reflection of the town.
It's not user-friendly at all.
It's a reflection of the town.
How much control do we have actually over the website? I thought Mainstay basically does.
No,
most
we
of it.
can edit it.
We can edit it? Okay.
Like I gotta tell you,
I
I
just
was
wondering
looking
why it
at that
hasn't been
like
fixed all this
like
time.
the like it in there like I just think it's got to be more a little more robust.
I agree.
Somehow it's like
Stone aged.
well, yeah, and it's also I said this once before with the Economic Development Committee. There should be more information on the various boards and committees.
Right.
I think I look at that like you have to like really. I use our board as an example. You have to really dig in there to figure out where the board is like who's the board of select. Isn't
Right.
Is it even changed? It took like a year and a half.
No,
for it
but
to
my
be changed
point
for
is
me to
It is
be-
now.
my
Yeah.
point is like things like the town moderator, the board of selectmen, town administrator. That should be like, boom.
Right.
Like if you look at like the state websites, they have the leadership of like different departments and administrations.
Could even do some pictures.
Yeah. So I'm not asking it for overnight.
No,
I
it's
know
gonna
this
take
stuff
time.
takes time.
But look at other town websites and see what
Right.
they have.
I agree.
But I did get some feedback
Yep.
from, I got a couple emails from the Economic Development Committee. And if possible, I'd like to see if we can make that website better.
Yep.
And,
I agree.
I'm all on board with that.
and if we have to, I think we have a training line. If we need to send somebody to take a class on editing not the technical term, but
Like web page design.
well,
or-
not necessarily design, but I think it's fairly simple
Web
to
design,
teach somebody how to go in there and update the web page. Not actually. I think once it's designed.
management.
Probably any high
Yeah,
school
web-
kid could do that for
Well,
us.
yeah, but
maybe we could
but I can't.
We had a high school kid.
Maybe we could get a Co-Brown graduate on board with their senior project.
Well, I heard that too.
know?
I mean, we can approach Cobra and see if anybody wants to do
Senior,
that.
for their senior project.
But
They could teach us how to do it.
well, and that's my only comment.
Yep, absolutely. And I've had a number of conversations with the economic development and some feedback from other residents in town who have come in and introduced themselves to me and
The website
in
has
our
been an issue
discussion.
for a while.
And I, in fact, held a staff meeting today with the majority of the town hall staff, and the website was a big topic of discussion. And I think collectively, all departments, at least within the town hall, are on board with really revamping what they can. Dolores and I will be soliciting some information from the various boards and committees to get perhaps mission statements or some language from them that they would like to see on the website. So we'd really like it to be reflective of the individual boards and committees and their visions combined with the support that we at the town hall can give.
I got two. My first one is, I gotta be honest with you, I haven't looked, but is our meeting on Thursday properly posted?
Yes.
Okay. Then my second one is the hazardous household waste day at the transfer station. Now, we have a line in their budget for advertisement. Can we get like, we used to do this when I was there, get like 200 copies of the actual flyer, and they can hand them out on a weekend.
Before the hazardous waste
It's
day.
to May 7th, they got plenty of time.
Right.
So we've done this before. They can take it right out of their advertisement line. That's the way we used to do it. We used to copy like 200, and somebody comes in, they just hand them one.
What would it cost to have a flyer put into the Sun?
You get a better result if you hand it to them there, because not everybody gets the Sun. You'd be surprised if you just I don't get the Sun. You don't get the Sun unless you ask for it in your mail. Not everybody gets it.
I never asked
never
for
asked
it.
for
I
it.
get it every week.
A lot of people don't get it.
Do you have a P.O. box?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's why.
But that's the way we always did it. We always handed them out there because it's easy to somebody ask for it, because obviously you're going to post it there on the sign. A lot of people, you're going to have people bringing their stuff there thinking that it's there.
Maybe put an article in the Sun, and I know the form, if you send them that, they'll put it in the form
Right.
as well.
We could put it out,
Turnkey.
we could put hazardous waste day and write a little article up. And
Right.
put it in the
Yep, I mean, I posted the information on the website when I got the information the other day,
The
so.
website, there you go.
Exactly.
I just think,
Progress already.
I think,
But we can certainly, the turnkey just dropped off the flyers that they normally have us post around here. We can take direct copies of that and
I
get
don't
some
even know
for
if
handing
we
out.
have to take that out of the budget line. I mean, how much would it cost for 200
Might be able to
copies?
just do it in-house, print them up.
I mean, they don't even
Have to be color, right?
They don't have to be color. It's just an informational thing when somebody comes in and says,
Yeah.
there you
I'm
go.
good with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. We can get flyers for, you want them passed out at the transfer station or
That's the
here or
best place
both?
to do it. I mean, obviously do the ads in the
Can we
paper, but
put this- can
that's
we
the best
put-
place to do it.
Can we post it on that sign down there?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd have them do that tomorrow when they're open. I'd have them put it on and that way it's on the sign. If somebody says, "Hey, what's this?" They say, "Well, there you go."
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe they could put it on the rec sign. You know, right now they have the dog registration,
Right.
but maybe for May.
That's it. You got anything?
I don't know.
Are you all set?
The facility committee didn't meet. I waited there for half an hour.
Okay. So you've got nothing else?
I have nothing.
Okay. Yours?
So the first thing is, does the Board of Selectmen want to schedule a goal-setting session? I know other select boards just collectively have a workshop where they talk about their goals.
Typically, and I should have brought that up, typically, first, second meeting of the new board, we kind of have to do that. And I think
Right. And where the last two meetings have been jam-packed, that's why I'm asking if you want to do it at a selectmen's meeting, a separate meeting.
So I gotta let,
This
you-
kind of
I gotta let
leads
leads
in. I
into the
forgot
next
about that.
question.
I forgot about this now with your meeting.
I serve on the International Fuel Tax Agreement.
Yep.
And our next meeting is the 24th.
Correct.
I will be in Chandler, Arizona at that meeting. So there'll only be 2 selectmen, which is fine.
Right.
My daughter's actually having surgery that day.
So do you want to do
So
it,
I'd rather
do you want to
postpone it.
push that one off and do it on May 1st? And we'll have, so in other words, it'll be just a week later. Does that work better for you too?
That works better for me.
Let's do May 1st.
All right.
Great.
So that works better for
Awesome,
everybody.
thank
We'll
you.
do that. So
May
instead of,
1st?
we'll just postpone
Wait, does it work for you?
I'm off.
Okay, no.
You don't really have a choice.
I'm here.
So we don't have.
Just kidding, you do have a choice.
We don't have a meeting for 3 weeks then, which is fine.
We could have one the 17th if you wanted to.
Either one's
Do we
fine.
need one?
I don't think so unless
We're
something
meeting on
comes up.
Thursday.
We're meeting on Thursday. We could, if we have any business besides that, we could button it up real quick.
Yeah, okay.
So let's just, we'll do, if something comes up, we can,
Is that too late though for the lawn bids?
May 1st.
Oh, we need to, why don't we could we try to do the lawn bids after we do the interviews?
Thursday, you think you can get that done that fast in 2 days? Okay.
Thank you.
So, yeah, thank you for bringing that up.
Yep.
Well, I had one other question, if I may.
Yep.
To Lauren, my new phone.
So where are we at on the audit?
It is basically complete. The auditors are going to come, they've done all their field work here with us. We're going to touch base with Sandy and potentially the trustees. I think they had to follow up with an item or two
I was
about.
more concerned about when we hire, or we don't know, if we hire that additional firm to come in and analyze our post-retirement benefits.
Okay, yeah.
How's that playing into the mix?
That I have not heard, and I don't know if Sandy, if you in your conversations with Sandy know. I don't know when the actuary
Because they're
service is going to be
relying,
done.
they're using her information to be part of the audit.
Right. So the audit is they've done their field work. They're going to meet with Sandy and I next week on, I believe, Wednesday, just to go over a couple recommendations
Would I
for
bring this
adjustments.
up? Because one of the reasons we hired that independent actuarial
Yep.
was to resolve, if you look at previous audits,
Mm-hmm.
because we didn't have a solid number for that, we would get an adverse opinion.
Right.
I don't know if this is still called adverse, but it was like, and it was my, based on discussions and some things I learned in analysis, is that if we hired the actuarial firm to come in and do that analysis and come up with a solid number for that would make that opinion go away.
Correct.
And go to a unqualified opinion.
Yes. I can follow up with Sandy to find out when the
we invested
actuary
the
service.
money, we spent the money to resolve that, so
Right.
I'd like to know earlier if there's any problem, I'd like to know as soon as possible if there's any problems with that.
Yep, I can absolutely follow up with Sandy regarding the actuary services.
Anything else?
I do, yes, I have a number of things.
You got a list, remember?
Charlie would like to unpost the roads now that the frost is
I'm
out of the
good with that.
roads.
I'm good with that.
And just to give you a heads up, I met with one fence company down at the transfer station, and they have submitted a quote. I have 2 other companies that called and asked questions, and I do anticipate they will be submitting a quote.
Who are the 2 other companies?
The 3 companies together are Superior Fence, American Fence, and Vermont Recreation.
Is Superior out of Alton?
No, Belmont.
Belmont?
Laconia.
Yes.
They're the ones that
they,
They're the ones that did the one at my work. That's how I got that. Got their
And they're the ones that gave you the bid?
yes,
What was
they
it?
have submitted a
Yes.
quote. Off the top of my head, I can't recall now. 15, 16,000?
Oh, exactly what we wanted?
Yes,
That isn't actually that bad.
yes.
I thought it'd be
I
way
think
worse.
instead of, I think they proposed, like clicker
Like
buttons.
basically like a garage door opener.
Right, but not key cards.
Yeah, because that's what that box is. That's what my boss told me. That box, what we have at our work is they call it a long range transmitter.
Mm-hmm.
So when they turn off the road, the gate automatically opens.
Right.
But that actual box itself for that is
So
like
the
$8
quotes for the
grand.
fence are coming back around 16,000?
Well, the first one that we've
First one.
received.
So
I haven't
the
received
clickers-
quotes on the other 2.
You haven't,
So
did you go, so you got
Highway
one
would
from-
get it.
Which one did you get?
Superior
Police,
Fence.
fire?
I
Oh,
have no idea what. I think, I'm not sure.
Shouldn't talk
how
about that in
works.
public.
What?
They're not sealed bids.
They're not sealed
No,
bids?
they're not for this project.
We'd have to have them come in
Okay, all right.
and
Just
Right.
wondering with the clicker, how much each clicker costs, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'd have to have them come in and
Okay.
explain it.
Can I ask
obviously,
why they're not
'cause
sealed?
That is a good question, because then you'd have to have so many of them.
Because there was so much dialogue as far as what was being required
Oh,
to
'cause
have
we
it.
were asking for, like,
right.
the scope?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, where the
Because there's so
scope
many different
and,
things. We don't really absolutely 100% know
Because
what
we were
want.
asking for, like, give us suggestions.
Yeah, you
Right.
don't 100% know what we want either, because to Beth's point, the clickers, how many clickers do you get? We've got a lot of different vendors that go in there, so we're gonna have a clicker for our hauler, a clicker for fire department,
In case of something.
clicker for
yeah.
PD, a clicker for the, so the
Clicker for each selectman.
I don't need a clicker. I can get in from the backside.
so the deadline that we had
I know
originally
that- I
put
know
He
out.
doesn't really mean that.
I know the trails.
The deadline that we had originally put out was the 20th. So I do anticipate that your meeting on May 5th, I will have quotes available for you. If
May
we're
1st?
meeting on the
First,
1st,
Or the-
I think that you should still meet May 5th because we have put that on other bid documents.
Fifth is a Thursday?
Not the 5th, the 8th.
That's fine,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Right.
We're still gonna, we're
Yeah,
gonna
we're still
hold our
meeting.
normal
Yeah,
Tuesday
yeah.
meeting.
Right.
We're just gonna push the 24th meeting
So-
to the 1st.
The transfer station gate, we could potentially take on the 1st.
Yep.
And then the
Whichever
other
one, yeah.
road bids that come in, take on the 8th.
Okay.
Spread
If we
them out.
get the 3 bids, maybe we could have a representative from each one of them here, so if we have questions, we can possibly ask them, because I think there's a lot of gray, we don't 100% know exactly what we want there.
Especially if they're each thinking something different.
Right.
Well, to your point, the clicker thing might be, it might cost us, let's say, I'm just gonna throw a number out, $500 for extra clicker, so it might be more.
Right, and then the
it might
16
be,
ends up being 24.
and it might be, well, and not only that, we could get that 24 and get the long range
Yes,
thing
yeah,
and do
okay,
it that
yeah.
way too. Are you speaking out? Yeah, look,
No, I'll tell you later.
tell me later.
So then I spoke about the RFPs for the road, I put out for road grading, I put out for Genis Pond Road and Sherburne Hill Road. Those Charlie had gotten information on. Depending on what these costs come in at, if there is still money remaining, he would also like to do a portion of Tasker.
Okay.
Is it Tasker Hill? So we will have those available for the board, and these will be sealed bids on.
I got a question
on the
about,
8th.
I gotta stop you there, please.
Okay.
Tasca?
Tasker Hill Road.
Yeah, the question I have about that is, I know it's a road that needs to be done,
Right.
but was that in, I don't believe that was in the plan for this
I
year.
think she said any extra money, if there's extra, then he'll do a
I
portion.
don't know if you looked at Sherburne Hill
I don't
Road.
think there's gonna be extra.
And that's why we didn't compile a
But
bid
my
document for
thing
that
is-
at this
My
point.
thing is, I think we should just go out for bids for the ones we asked for in budget.
Yeah, and that's what we've done. So, like I
And
said.
for the record, Tasca Hill's the road that I have to drive on every day before I go to my house. But I think we should stick with the
You don't
plan.
have to, you could go around.
No, I can't.
Oh, around through,
What am I
No.
gonna go through the woods?
Go through 202 and come in the back way.
You can't, I can't.
He knows the-
Tasca-
he knows the
Tasca
trail.
Hill's the one that runs up, goes down to Water Street.
yeah, you still have to,
I
but
can't,
even if he goes through Stratford, you
Yeah,
still have to
but-
hit Tasker
I
somewhere.
still gotta hit Tasca Hill. There's no way to get to my house without hitting Tasca Hill.
Oh, you want, yeah, you're on the Northwood end.
Yeah.
My helicopter.
Yeah, helipad.
Now that you've authorized Charlie to unpost the roads, we can move forward with finishing up Mary Waldron Beach. Jay Parker is willing to.
I felt that sand, I
to-
didn't see anything wrong with it.
Since we're talking roads, some of the roads that we did last year
Right.
are already cracking on the edges. Is there a plan, could the road agent go out and do some crack sealing?
I can.
The
direct
new
him to
roads
do
are
that.
cracking on the edges?
Yeah.
It's awful.
Cracking everywhere, not only on the edges, in the center.
For example,
There's a couple big potholes on Pleasant Lake, Gulf Road too.
but one of the roads we did last year is really, like, on the edges, I mean, the plowing up there, I got chunks of asphalt out on the town's right of way. That I know they pulled it right off the road. And for the
Here before it gets worse.
For the amount of money we paid for those roads, I gotta tell you, I'm just a tad disappointed.
Yep, I can direct Charlie to take a look at those
But if
and do
it's
the
a
crack
some way
sealing.
to salvage some of these roads, I think we need to get out and do some crack sealing immediately.
Get ahead of it.
I'm talking the new roads.
Get ahead of it, so we don't have to redo these new roads that we just did.
Right.
That it?
No. So you're fine with me moving forward with Jay Parker to finish off the Mary Waldron
I'm
Beach?
okay with that sand. It didn't feel that bad now that it dried out.
Did you
For
go
the
to
most part, I
Sandcastle?
did find a couple of rocks in it. So it's,
Just tell them to take the rocks out before he puts
I'll
them.
have them pick them out by hand.
There's rocks at
Don't
the
they have like a
beach.
sifter thing? Yeah.
There's rocks at the beach.
I can see if you can have it screened.
Yeah.
You know, before a final load.
That's for one extra screen.
So I'd like to move forward with Jay Parker on that. I just
that
wanted to
works.
get a sense from you. There is a fence that got taken out by a plow, and actually I think it was the neighbor's plow. Mr. Fred Toby has offered to fix that.
Okay.
He would just like direction from you if you're okay with
I'm
that.
okay with it.
Thank you.
Good.
And then on my list to talk to you about had been the wood that's on the property on Sherburne Hill Road, but it looks like we're gonna look
Well,
into that.
yeah, is there any way that
Get
we
rid of it.
can get rid of it with our own manpower?
I think that we could.
Where you
I
gonna
don't.
put it?
I haven't seen
Where you
it. I
gonna
don't
put
know
it?
how much is up there.
Where are we gonna
but,
put it though, Scott?
I mean, do we want to put it in the pit and burn it?
They're logs.
Are they logs? Okay.
Well, I think
Do
Well,
we
here's
want to?
my question.
they're logs.
Like-
Oh, let me ask my question.
Go ahead.
Why can't, I know there's a rule that you can't put anything in larger than,
5 inches.
is that a town policy or is that a state policy?
That's town policy, I believe. It's because it smolders for too long. They burns forever. Is it
State law. So,
Okay.
What
So-
kind of trees are they? Yeah.
I think it's
that all the
sort.
stuff they took down on Sherburne Hill?
I mean, is there any way we could put it out to a logging company that they can just come take it for free?
I mean,
you can't
yeah.
not want free wood.
I mean, I have. Well, not me
You
personally. but-
gotta be careful.
Obviously, we can't let them cut it.
No,
on their
but you gotta
property.
be careful because if they go in there, you'd be better off. As much as I hate to spend money, if we can't do it with our own forces, you'd be better off to contract somebody to remove it. Because I'd love to say, hey, you want firewood? Go over there, cut it up, take it,
But
and then
they
they
got
get
hurt.
hurt. Next thing we got a lawsuit.
Okay, then I guess we'll have to figure it out then. We'll have to see how much it's going to cost to have it
But even
removed.
if we can get,
It might be. It
Take
might
what
be
you
a lot
can
of work for the town's crew.
I don't know where we're going to put the logs
It's
after.
individuals.
Where we gonna
cut
put
it
them?
all
Wasn't it
up.
the town's crew that said we can put them there?
Oh, I don't know.
Where are we going to put the thing is, Scott, I'm not against having them move it, but where are we going to put it when we move it?
maybe they can take what is able to go to the transfer station. At least we can show that we are trying and we've done something. You
Maybe we can throw it in the back of the ball fields where nobody's gonna see it.
can make stump seating.
Throw them over the banking on the ball fields.
Huh?
Put them down over the bank and let them rot, there's a big hole there.
In the at the ball
You
field?
know, at the very,
There
very
you
end.
go. I'm all right with that.
And then they're taken out of the neighborhood.
I'm okay with that.
Is there anything allowed?
And the next
is there a
neighbor
reason
sees
we
them.
shouldn't do that?
I don't know what's back there, to be honest. So
Can we like analyze that before we just say do it? Can we
Sure.
like just get a
But
little?
we have to go up and look at the ball field anyway.
Yeah, we can do it that same day that we look at the ball fields. That gives you a chance to see if there's somebody that might want it that's willing to.
right.
So we probably should not schedule a meeting with, talking about the resource officer for the school or the ball field for that week of the 24th, when we do schedule appointments.
Right.
Well, we're not meeting on the 24th.
I know, but you have to schedule an appointment with the rec about looking at the ball field and with the chief of police and the school board about the resource
Well,
officer.
we'll let them come to us.
But they're gonna go to her probably, so don't do it that week.
Don't do it that week.
Okay, thank you.
Got it.
That will be good.
Bow Lake Underdrain is the final thing that I have to discuss with you in public session.
Non-public.
I do have another matter that is for a non-public session,
Okay.
which we had previously.
So the
posted.
Bow Lake Under Drain, the way I read the email is that they did it to the specs, the scope of the work. The way I see it is whoever designed it didn't design it properly.
That's how I took it.
Yeah, but, so, I guess in future, if we have projects like this,
We should have the engineering firm. do
we should
the
have the
specs.
engineering do it, not our former town administrator or highway department do it.
Leave the names out of this.
I didn't say names.
Yeah, I think it would be best moving forward to have just engineered, or engineered reviewed drawings prior to putting it out to bid. It does, CMA did go out there and they did indicate, comparing the work that was done to what
The drawing was.
what GMI had bid on. It was done per the bid.
So I have a question, and just a clarification.
Right.
Because a member of the public had asked me some questions about it. So my understanding with that contract was initially, we signed a contract for $16,000.
Correct.
My understanding was that was supposed to be all-inclusive of the work.
That was all inclusive of the work.
Somebody asked him to go back though, from what I understand too.
So my question is, and I realized that there might, that there was some minutes that we voted on.
Right.
But I think if you look at the next, I think if you go forward to the next meeting, there should be some minutes where we rescinded that vote. Because the contract, if you look at the contract, and I might be wrong because I haven't read it recently, there's a stipulation if there's a change order, it had to come back before the Board of Selectmen.
Right, and so what I had.
So the work had been done, it was
Correct.
kind of like, we were caught, we kind of like, somebody did not have, somebody did the work, just did the work and didn't come back to the board and ask for approval of the change order.
I mean, I don't know if that's the case. The GMI provided me with a contract adjustment, which is dated November 13th.
Sign
It is not signed. However, it was brought before the board on November 14th, which was the day later, where the selectmen made the motion to approve the additional $3,000 for the underdrain project. That motion carried 3-0. I did.
But wasn't the work already done?
That I can't tell you. I don't have that information. I do at the November 28th meeting, which was your next meeting. It does look like the work had been done at that point. There was citizen comment at that meeting. However, there is no motion to rescind the approval of the money. So by the November 28th meeting, the work had been complete. Albeit there was still issues.
But the town didn't sign the change order.
Did not sign the change order, did authorize the motion. Did authorize the work through a motion, so.
You know what?
I'm not overly happy with this whole project.
Well, the whole thing is, I'll be honest with you. We're talking $3,000.
But we're gonna, how much more is it gonna cost to actually do it right?
Well,
More than $3,000.
people are gonna get.
They're already saying it's gonna be flooded out if we have a real bad rainstorm. That's exactly what he said in the email. You can see the soil, you can see it. We're gonna fight this problem until we fix it. It sounds like what he's
I think.
the actual
Right, but it's
engineer.
not.
Actually,
if they did the job according to the specs.
I'm not gonna speak anymore because I'd like to consult legal
Okay. We'll consult with legal.
because. I guess some of my point is it's $3,000.
No, I get what your
And
point
if we
is.
don't pay the $3,000,
It's gonna be more.
It's gonna be litigated. It's gonna be this and that.
It's not worth going
not
through
worth
it.
the
I
hassle.
get what you're saying. My
But
thing
that
is-
being said, I know there's a lot of people that are frustrated with the fact that it was not done
properly,
And-
I feel
Because
that
it's
the
not
people need to
$3,000,
know
it's
that
the
it
whole
wasn't on
dollar figure.
select-
Well, no, if they have to go back in there and,
It's gonna cost more.
well, I think, my understanding is, and I read the whole.
They're gonna put some drainage on
Well,
the
they're
side.
gonna dig it, they're gonna go back in there.
They're gonna add to the sides.
Right, because there was two choices. One was infringing on people's property, then the other option was,
Well, is it within the town's right of way?
No, I don't
it
think
didn't
there is.
say.
Didn't
So
say.
you know what I'm saying? The town has a right of way,
Yeah.
X
25.
number of feet on both sides of the road.
12 feet. We'd have to look
So-
into it.
So my thing is,
But also, I think if we talk to those neighbors, they're the ones that are complaining about the water. They're probably gonna let us do that work so they get the water out of their yard.
so we don't have a quote on that yet.
No, I've not solicited quotes.
See, I think we,
should.
I think we
For the
should, I think we should
recommendation.
straighten out that problem before we start working on Tasca.
Okay.
So can we solicit quotes to see how much it would cost to have us fix it?
Absolutely.
Then have,
Have the engineering firm,
draw up what we need done.
Right. Yes, I can solicit.
but I think we should
for-
fix that and then focus on
So are you
Sherburne.
saying we might as well pay the $3,000 so we don't have to go to legal? I think,
First off, it's gonna cost whatever our hourly rate is just to call legal.
so you will
But
probably,
they did the job according to the specs that they were
Yeah,
given.
so they
that-
did,
it's an extra
so
$3,000,
they
not
did the
that's
specs,
problem.
well, I guess we're out here, we'll just talk about it.
No. It's public info.
It's $3,000 more,
On top of the
Right.
16.
okay?
Right. But it wasn't,
There's a motion which we approved the minutes. There's a motion that says we approved
I
expending
can't
that
remember
three.
if the work. was
But
done
we
before or
approved
not.
them.
Yes.
We approved those minutes, so we can't sit here and say, oh, that never happened.
No,
We
we
approved
approved
them.
it.
So what I'm playing is, it's one of those double-edged swords. How much you gonna spend to argue about $3,000?
So,
Probably more than $3,000 if we do that.
so I guess what I would propose, if we're gonna spend this $3,000, is that we don't accept any more GMI bids.
Yeah, well,
Scott, you're missing the point. It's not about money, that was an extra.
Rick, all due respect,
I'll talk
Do it in
after.
public
I'm just
comment.
telling you.
Okay, so are you
It
making a
wasn't
motion?
approved, but it shouldn't have been done. I was in charge, I was the chairman, I know what went on. You guys don't wanna listen, that's fine.
it's not.
It is.
It's not listening, Rick. It's what you can prove in court and what you can't prove in court.
He didn't have a signed work order. Our contract says in it, if you read it, any extras had to be approved. They weren't approved, and that's the point.
But there's minutes that say we approved it at a meeting.
Yeah, then we said to hold the check afterwards too. Is that in the minutes? That's why they were never paid to this date. Ask Sandy.
Okay. What's the pleasure of the board?
When I speak in public comment, I'll let you know.
I'm gonna, I'd like to,
Table this for a minute?
yeah,
Okay.
I'd like to hear public, I'd like
All
to
right,
bring it
so
back
any
up
more?
at the
And
public.
have, get some bids on the cost to fix it.
Any more? Any more selectmen's individual town and
I
administrative
think
reports?
she had a pile. She done now?
I'm done with everything.
There you
for
go.
public comment.
All right. No more? You guys good? You good?
I'm good.
You good? All right, citizens forum, second round. Come on up.
I'd like to speak to this. There's two people involved in this besides me, and they can lie if they want to. But I'm telling you right now, there was no work approved for that extra work. And we have said in the contract that it's supposed to be approved. I went up there, we didn't approve it, and whatever they did to claim to be extras, they did it on their own. So if you want to pay them, I think you're wrong. I don't think they got a leg to stand on, because if you read the contract, it says right in there, any extra work would be priorly approved by the board. And you even agreed to it, because you said if they hit ledge or they hit anything that was gonna go over beyond what we approved, that we needed to abide by that rule.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Rick, and I don't want to interrupt you, and I'm not interrupting. I would cross. I don't disagree with you. I think, I personally think we shouldn't pay the $3,000, but
But it says in our contract, if it wasn't approved, they weren't gonna get paid. And if they did it, that's not our fault.
Do you know what day it was done?
It was done the same day. They finished it in one day, this job.
Yeah, they did it all. They literally.
Did it all in one
They
day.
finished, they had the job done, and they says, oh, we gotta do this, it's gonna cost us extra $3,000 more. And I'm not gonna get into details, it's a personnel matter, but, somebody, I guess, approved it, that probably didn't have the authority.
He didn't approve it when I...
Well, for the record, the Board of Selectmen didn't approve the additional work, but we do have that motion that we,
Right, and the motion indicates from the minutes of the November 14th meeting, Selectman Breyer motion to approve an additional $3,000 for the Bow Lake Road under drain project. Selectman Hodgson seconded the motion. After discussion, motion carried 3-0. I've not found...
What was that date?
November 14th. I've not found where that motion
Do you know
was
what the date,
rescinded.
do you know the date of when they completed the project?
Was the day they started, they finished it.
Which is,
they did,
Was
they
it
did,
after
they
the
did it all,
14th?
they did, no, they did it all one day.
But-
They came, when they came back to ask for that additional
already
money,
done.
It was already done. It was like, we don't have a choice, it was already done.
Yeah, they kind of shoved the $3,000.
So it technically-
down the throat.
technically-
So you said yes to the 16,000, they did the extra $3,000 worth of work without
And
permission.
then they came
per
to
se.
us to get to 3,000 after it had already been done.
I mean, personally, I would say I wouldn't want to pay it because I'd fight, because I'd like to fight for stuff like that. But you're talking town money and we could pay triple that in
Oh,
court
no,
costs.
we
or-
wouldn't pay
Double?
maybe a half, 1.5.
1.5. I mean, it's the principle of the fact that,
I think we're gonna take, we need
yeah.
to, maybe this is something we need to take up with.
Thank you, Rick, for enlightening.
Table it.
Rick, I respect your opinion, and in principle, I agree with you, but I think we gotta balance how much you spend on legal fees and.
I don't see how it's going to cost you anything. It's in writing saying that the work had to be approved prior, and it wasn't approved prior.
I'll give you,
It's right in the contract. Read
To
the
have the
contract.
lawyer look at it, would it cost us money?
well, I've gotten into litigation like this before on other things, and what happens is the judge will look at, with the contract that perceived the person that might have told them to do the work, having the authority.
Joe said he didn't approve the work the day I was there with him.
Oh,
We went together.
I'm just giving you a scenario
Right.
that the judge, if this was to go to court, the judge will listen to the sides, and based on, I agree with you, the selectmen might not have approved it, we did not approve it, but if somebody in an authoritative position
It could be
in the
he said, he
town
said.
said they approve, this is, well, basically, the town administrator or the road agent says, oh yeah, go ahead and do it. That could be perceived, a judge would perceive that as approval.
They had no right to do that. It's in the contract.
Okay.
So if someone took it up on themselves to do it, they had no right to do it. It's in our writing if you read it. I read it. Charlie had no right to approve it, and neither did Joe without us.
I'm not even gonna argue with that.
Thank you, Rick.
And another thing, on that heater at the town garage, this is the second time it's been hit. If we're gonna put another heater in there, why don't we move it back from the eaves of the roof, so every time the snow slides down, it don't hit it? Why would we put another heater in there
Have them
right
do
under
that.
the edge of the roof where the snow
Yes,
slides?
that isn't in the proposal. That
It
is
is.
in the proposal.
That's in the proposal.
Right,
The heater needs to be moved somewhere.
right.
That's part of the proposal.
I didn't say that earlier.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Anything else, Rick?
He's got a list too.
Oh, question on the lawn. The guy that's been mowing the lawns didn't bid this year? I didn't hear his
I
name.
didn't-
Nah.
He did not. He did not. I didn't see a bid from,
Thank you.
Thank you.
watch step. Okay, what are we going in under non-public?
We are going into non-public under RSA 91A3 to C.
Oh, so you actually put it right, you don't write all the other one. All right, so we're gonna go, I'm gonna make a motion to go into non-public under RSA 91, unless there's any more public comment, I forgot to ask. Is there any more public comment?
I have a question.
Come right up, please.
I bought some property over on Sherburne Hills Road.
Could you please state your name, please?
Roger Leclerc.
Thank you.
I bought some property on Sherburne Hills Road. I came in, I paid my property taxes,
Yep.
and I asked the girl about the bill, and she said, well, I get a late charge. And evidently the mail was sent to a different place, but the point I'm trying to get to is, I was charged for 2.3 acres, which is not what my lot is, it's 1.6 or thereabouts in the deed. It's been resurveyed, I had it done, and I was overcharged, and I'd like a rebate. I filled the form out and everything, and I thought I'd be on the agenda, but I guess somehow I'm not.
When did you fill the form out?
Huh?
Filed
What
for an
date did you
abatement?
file for the abatement?
A week and a half ago or something?
Was it within the statutory
The
requirement?
guy downstairs, the assessor.
What did you?
I guess we'll have to wait for assessor.
Yeah, I can follow up with Diane, the assessing clerk, tomorrow about it to see what the status of it is.
Maybe we can take care of it Thursday, real quick, if it's available. If not, I'll have to wait
If
till
it-
the May 1st.
Yeah, if it's available, the assessors are typically in on Thursdays, so if it wasn't something that was worked on last week, you know, perhaps it's in their pile of work to.
He says you should be fine, but whatever the assessor.
No, I think if it's something that's a quick motion and we could take care of real quick on
Well,
Thursday if we had to.
Which is fine, I'm just asking, you got it in by the deadline for the abatements, right?
What is the deadline for the abatement?
It's not an abatement.
I thought it was a 3-year thing, but whatever, I just bought the property.
It's not considered an
I used to
abatement?
live in the town, you know that. I used to be.
No, I know, I'm not saying
It's
that.
not
I'm just
considered an
saying-
abatement?
It's not a
I
standard
wasn't gonna
abatement?
pay it. I told the lady, I said, listen, if I'm not getting my money back, I'm not paying the bill. Well, you shouldn't have a problem. Well, I paid the bill.
It's an assessing problem.
Right.
and
It's an
I don't
assess-
expect to
it's
pay
a-
No, I
the
think
assessor.
it would still be an abatement.
It's assessed
It would be an
wrong.
Well,
abatement
what I
with the
gotta do is,
refund.
I gotta have the assessor look at it.
Right,
He
right.
told me there should be no problem, they did recommend it.
Okay, so
Because
if he
I told him,
recommends
you
it.
know, really? I said, I overpaid, that's not what I have. I don't understand why things, because when I went to buy that, I came in to buy the property.
I don't know why my house is assessed at what it is.
And that was a nightmare, and the other lot was a nightmare. And I got a lawyer, and he worked on it, and then we got a hold of the surveyor that surveyed everything out for those lots, which you guys never got any information on because bank didn't want to give it to the town, because they were having a dispute with you. And when I got it, at first they told me, oh, you're gonna have 2.3 acres. So I got 1.6 or thereabouts. And there's a big difference. And I don't want to be paying for something that I don't own.
No.
Oh, I don't
I
blame
just want to be treated fairly because I find it very upsetting and I want to get it straightened out.
We'll definitely look into it.
All right, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sir, could I just have your last name again?
Leclerc, L-E,
Leclerc.
capital C, L-E-R-C.
Anybody else, citizens forum? Okay. All right, so now we're gonna move into non-public under RSA 91A:3, 2-C, is that how it is?
Yes.
2-C? Roll call.
I vote yes.
Donald House and I also vote yes.
Beth Boudreaux, vote yes.
We are now in non-public. I want to entertain a motion to come out of non-public.
Second. Oh, I'll make a motion, come out of non-public.
Second.
Roll call, Donald Hush and I.
Scott Breyer, aye.
Beth Boudreaux, aye.
We are now out of non-public.
I'll make a motion to seal the non-public meeting minutes.
I second that.
Any discussion?
No.
Seeing none, call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 I make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Oh, whoops.
Second.
I'll take roll call, Donald Hush and I.
No, you just have that one, you can just say aye.
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 We're now adjourned.